You watch like mobster movies?
Yeah.
Yeah? Dude, Heat is one of the best movies of all time. Have you ever seen it?
I'm sure I have. I don't remember any movie ever, but if Al Pacino's in it, I definitely.
Dude, it's one of the baddest fucking films ever. Like, the whole plot is like they're just doing robberies, right? And it's like a ragtag group, but it's a very small circle. Mm-hmm. So like they might have a new guy in, but he's only in for one job at a time or something like that. And they rob a place. Dude was weird. So they take him to a diner and they're like, yo, we're going to pay you 50 grand or like a cut of the findings. And then you're out. Don't say shit to nobody. We won't kill you.
Oh,
and then he goes to take off. So he'll later on, I'm going to give away the story, but
ruin the movie.
I'm 99.9% sure I've watched this.
It's fucking badass.
Yeah. We're going already. We don't really have like
we're super terrible at that.
Yeah.
Nah, it's good. I think that's the way to start.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to start.
Yeah. It's fucking we here.
Dude, obviously you're bigger than the president, right? You're like what would your title be? Island Fights owner,
CEO, founder. Yeah, so.
All right, so Dean Toole in studio.
President of Gamebred Boxing, president of Icon FC, president of Gamebred Bare Knuckle, president, CEO of Island Fights.
Do you dabble with Anthony Pettis as well?
Well, we were working with Pettis originally, and we had like a partnership there, but our issue was, it wasn't really an issue, but we were both on UFC Fight Pass, and it's like our entire staff, it's everything was exactly the same, except we were just switching out a logo. So one was APFC and one was Icon. Yeah. It was kind of like, maybe we should just get more Icon dates and like let Pettis do his thing. I have such a good relationship with Anthony Pettis. Love those guys. So I still like give him any advice on anything, but we just kind of like agreed that, hey, like we're going to build out Icon and you guys do the same thing, but it's technically the same exact show right now, except for the logo on the canvas is different.
Right. So. You're just trying to put more focus on one thing and grow that.
Exactly. I mean? It was hard to grow both at the same time because you're putting like both effort into two different brands. It kind of didn't make sense because it was the same exact show.
Well, and the thing too is I mean, you guys already have so much going on. You know what I mean? Like
being the president of all them companies. This is more of like a personal question from me. How do you dictate what goes on which card, and like how do you delegate the, like, I'd rather this fight on Icon versus on Gamebred versus on like, obviously stipulation really
major budget difference. You're talking like a $3-4 million event versus like $150,000 to $250,000 event.
Okay.
So like our purses on like the regional scene, they're average like $1,000 a show, $1,000 a win for these guys that are about to go like into the UFC. But like we kind of pride ourselves on, you're like, we haven't even had any championship fights yet on Icon because they're gone too quick.
Yeah.
Like if you fight more than 3 times for us, we're not doing our job. Like our job is to provide the platform and send you guys to the UFC or Bellator, PFL, whatever,
Yeah. You've already had a few people go to the UFC. Tons. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just alone from Island Fights and add on the rest of the promotions. But it's just insane. Like, I've looked back at old fights that are on YouTube and stuff. Like, knowing more now that I've been in the sport longer than when I first started and I saw them, it's crazy to see the names. Mm-hmm. Like, if you just take a stroll, you'll see some, like, you're like, Mike Perry fought.
Yeah, we have 5 on UFC Jacksonville coming up.
What?
One card. Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking tight.
Austin Lane, Jillian Robertson.
Is that Mike Davis on that?
He's not on that one. SD's on that one. Phil Rowe.
Yeah.
And Jillian Robertson's on that. Austin Lane.
I was just rolling with SD Saturday. In July?
June 24th.
It's in Jacksonville.
5-star in Jacksonville. Next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. That's fucking wild.
That's 5 people. And then Brendan Allen's on the card, who's like a good buddy of mine. And then Ilya, a buddy of mine. So it's kind of like, that's just 7 people I'm like pretty close with that are all on the same card.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How does that feel to see the growth or witness potential in somebody and see it develop and grow? Like, I mean, I'm sure you see all like gambits of the story of like, man, this dude has crazy potential, never falls through with it, doesn't bloom, and then you see somebody that maybe you're like, oh, this is, for lack of a better word, like a throwaway fighter, like he's probably going to take the L, and then he just develops into somebody that you're like, holy shit, we got a star on our hands.
Yeah. Well, I think what I always look for, especially on our amateur shows, which we consistently have one. We try to have one every 8 weeks, no matter what. If there's zero people in the building or 10,000 people in the building, we're going to have a show no matter what. And that's just to develop talent that are eventually going to become professionals. Because 8 out of 10 people that fight amateur will never turn pro. It's the weirdest statistic in the world.
Do you think it's just people trying it out?
I don't know. I don't really know. I just know a lot of people end up staying amateur forever. They kind of do it for different purposes, or they might take a loss as an amateur and it might deter them. You know, like somebody like Juan Alvarez, super talented. Like there's no ceiling with that guy. Like he would lose fights, and every time I'm like, look, as long as you're improving, it doesn't matter. Like when you turn pro, you're 0-0. Now he's a 1-0 pro, so like no one gave a shit.
He also has a goldfish memory, so it's like. He doesn't even know he just lost.
Exactly.
He's just on to the next thing.
But someone needs to tell these guys that. Because someone could take a loss and never fight again. Yeah. You know, like you could take a loss and never fight again for 3 years. So you kind of got to see what people are going to do after they take a L for the first time, too, because that'll tell you everything you need to know. A guy can go 7-0 and then take a loss, take 2 years off, or never fight again ever. Yeah. And then you're like, damn, like we just spent this 7-0 journey with you, and then it was over after the first L. Yeah. But, you know, people like SD Dumas, like SD wasn't the best fighter ever when he first started, but every fight he had, including now, he improves every single time. So like that's all I look for is like, are these guys improving? Like look at Cam Bennett. I think he's like one of the most improved guys there is, you know, especially with his stand-up. He was just a wrestler. You know, guys like Heath Herndon, there's a lot of people, Brandon Thompson, like locals in the area that improve every time they fight. Like those are definitely some standout guys right now.
Dude, I have a wild story with SD. I'm with a buddy of mine. His name's Ye. His real name is Gabe, but he used to rap. Yeah. So, I mean, but he had hands, so he also boxed. Like, he could have had a future in either, but he does, like, crypto or AC or something. I'm not sure, but he makes a lot of money. Crypto. And he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. It's a Saturday, and I just got off work, and he's like, you should slide through. We got some fights. And I was like, dope, cool, where? Send me the address. It's in a neighborhood, and I don't exactly match what's in the neighborhood. Yeah. And I'm driving, and I'm like, hey, you want to meet me at the road? Because it's probably not safe I get out this car. And people are looking at me, and I get out of the car, and he's like, woo, like, come down here. And there's a boxing ring in the backyard, but they're like cemented 2x4s in the ground. Yeah. Or 2x6s or whatever. And SD is the co-main event for a title boxing title. Literally just says the word title, boxing on it. And they're boxing with just regular boxing gloves, literally no technique. Dude was bad. And I went to school with SD, and I didn't know, like, SD used to be way out of shape. Like, thick.
Yeah. He was a heavyweight.
And he was a heavyweight in this promotion or whatever this was going on, and he lost. But I was like, dude, just seeing the growth from that moment to where he is now it proves to you that it doesn't matter where you're at when you develop a dream. You can go as far as you want to go. Until you stop going, you can always go forward. Yep. It's crazy. Cam too, like I started training with Cam when he had to be 15 or 16. It was in the summer, like in between wrestling camps. So he was doing jiu-jitsu where I was at. And I'm like, this kid is crazy strong for his age. Yeah. I didn't know he was that young.
Yeah, people used to tell me about Cam, like before he ever competed, you know. But that's the beauty about MMA, is like a guy like SD who doesn't have a wrestling background, who just decided he wanted to do this in his 20s, who ends up in the UFC. Like there's no better story than that ever in the entire world. Zero background in any type of martial art ever, and he made it to the big show. Like, you know, somebody like Derek Lewis, like just people that don't have these wrestling backgrounds that make it to the highest upper echelon of the sport. You know, Masvidal wasn't like a wrestler or any of those type of things, and he started where he started, fought in the backyards, and then made it all the way to fight Usman for the title. It was like the craziest story ever. You know?
That is insane. Yeah. I mean, you're basically doing the same thing, just like MMA promotion-wise.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just legal.
where did you get your start? Like, did you start doing a martial arts and then you were like, I'm not gonna say.
So I grew up wrestling. Me, my brother, my dad was like wrestled for the Scottish national team. We lived in Scotland. He was like would have been an alternate for the Olympics, but he had a crazy weight cut and ended up in the heavyweight division. I don't know, long story, but he won I think it was the Highland Games like 8 or 9 years in a row.
Yeah.
And so my brother was like standout wrestler. So we wrestled. We lived up north, and then freshman year wrestled. Finished freshman year, and we had to move to Pensacola. My brother was going to his senior year. He probably definitely would have went to college for wrestling, and then we went to Escambia High School. Zero wrestling. We were going to go to Tate High School. It was the only school that had wrestling. But we lived in Perdido Key, so it was going to be like a 45-minute drive there and back. 2000.
Oh, I'm 09. So, Escambia.
Oh, nice.
Word.
So we ended up not going to Tate. So they're like sending all these letters to Tate. We're going to go to this school. And that was the end of my wrestling career. But my brother, as soon as he graduated, joined the Navy. So he had 1 year in Pensacola, joined the Navy, and moved to Hawaii. Hawaii is like the mecca of mixed martial arts at this point. This is like Rumble on the Rocks, Super Brawl. They had fights like every weekend in Hawaii, and it was like Jason Mayhem Miller, Egan Inouye, Ensign Inouye, Anderson Silva, everybody, BJ Penn. They're all coming up and they're fighting here. And I'm like, my brother's competing in all of these amateur tournaments, Naga, Grappler's Quest, everything there was, undefeated, never lost. So I was like a fan of my brother. It's my older brother. Mm-hmm. You get all your content from YouTube. You're watching like Fedor and Pride and all these different things. So I'm like the biggest fan ever and of my brother. So we decided to like start this a clothing store called the MMA Shack. So we started this little store on the Navy base selling like, I don't know if you remember these brands, but it was like Full Contact Fighter, Tap Out, Throwdown, Triumph United,
Combat Corner.
All these brands that like we were the first people to sell Tap Out in Florida, and it was out of a kiosk on the Navy base, and we were murdering it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I bet you them boys were eating that shit.
Going hard on that.
This was back when like Rampage and everybody was sponsored by Triumph United and Throwdown and all these different. We had Fokai.
Hayabusa.
Fokai was like this huge brand from Guam
that
everybody in Hawaii wore, and so we started that, and then we moved to the mall. The Cordova Mall. I had a kiosk there, and everybody that came there would always ask me like, "Where can we train?" There's no place to train in this entire town, and so Larry Downs Jr. owned a gym at the time. He was closing it. It was called Pensacola Boxing Academy. So me and my friend Michael Blanton like made this deal with Larry, and we ended up like buying all of the equipment out of his gym, and we opened up Gulf Beach Fitness. So we had this gym on Gulf Beach Highway.
It's in the same building that they had built. Because they had one right where the curve is, and then there's like a metal railing. One. Yeah, I knew him. I like skated with one of his coworkers' little brothers, and like they were forced to train there. They hated it.
When Larry had his gym there. Yeah, so we were there. We were there for like 4 years, and in the 4 years, we did shows. I did shows with Larry's amateur boxing and kickboxing shows to put money back into the gym. It was super expensive to keep it open, you know. And but everybody was at that gym. Like this guy, we had Pat Vito was our jiu-jitsu coach, Rico Holanda, who ended up at the academy. John Henson was there. James Neville, who's like the OG of all of this. He was like the first dude fighting from this entire area. Shout out to James, the road dog. And then who else was there? Tony Baker was there. Trey Alator was there. Like everybody is in this building training jiu-jitsu in this 1,000 square foot room upstairs in my gym. And Smoke Gaynor was training boxing there. Ezra Sellers was our boxing coach, former world champion. Dwayne Knight was one of our boxing coaches. Keith Erickson was our wrestling coach. He wrestled a state champion from Virginia. So we had like everything in this place. And James Neville was our MMA coach. So like we had a pretty badass gym. It was awesome. And amateur MMA was illegal in Florida. The only thing was legal was pro MMA, and that's it. Or you could do amateur boxing or kickboxing. So as soon as amateur MMA became legal, Larry put on a show at the fairgrounds, and we were doing them together, and it wasn't anything like Larry's one of my closest buddies, but they did the show like by themselves. So then I did a show by myself.
Like, well, now I got
and then I did it at the Pensacola Beach. My buddy Ian Jacobs and Romeo Amato. Ian was like the assistant GM of the Hilton, and then Romeo Amato was like the...
Bro, you will never be audited, dude. You know every name, every position.
Yeah,
I'm getting nervous like you're gonna say shit from my background, like my elementary school teacher or some shit. Yeah.
Well, Romeo and Ian. Romeo had a big part in it, but he sat with us, had a meeting, and said, "Yo, how can we bring some events to the Hilton?" You know, they were trying to look for ways to bring in revenue, food and beverage, whatever. And I said, "Look, we could put on these events. These are events we've been putting on at the fairgrounds for a few years, but we're ready to do MMA. Amateur MMA is now legal. Like, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to do the whole time."
Yeah.
And there was just little things, like when we were doing them at the fairgrounds, we didn't sell alcohol. Just like, I was super young at this point, and I was still like a dude who went out.
How old were you?
This was 2010, so I'm probably like, 20-something years old. Like, just ready to... I was somebody who went out all the time, had tons of friends, popular in Pensacola growing up.
So was this a way that you could let out, like, your wrestling energy? Like, it kind of transitioned into a different type of role since... Like, you were still training.
I took a fight one time at Big Daddy's. Remember Big Daddy's? Big Daddy's used to have a fight night here, right? And I ended up fighting this guy, Andrew Parrott. He's 6'8", 291 pounds. And I'm 189, right? I drink a whiskey sour before I get in the ring with him. And I ended up winning the fight. But, like, I took so many shots to, like, the back of my head because he was so tall. Like, and he was punching down. And, like, after that, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be the dude putting on the fight and doing this.
I think I'm good.
I'll fight in parking lots any day of the week. Like, that's what I did. I fought in nightclubs and parking lots for no money. And just because I was an idiot. But long story short, I just knew I wanted to put on fights. Like, I used to go to Ricky Derwin. Ricky Derwin's owned Fight Force International and Blood and Sand. It was always the best show ever. It was at the Biloxi Coliseum. And they did a huge event with, like, Bobby Lashley. Like, everybody fought on this show. I forget when it was. They did it with like a co-promotion with Affliction, I believe. And I remember going there to pick up my VIP table. And I'm just like a dude buying a table in the crowd, going to this event, drinking with all my buddies before we go to the event, enjoying it. It was fun. I'm like, damn, but I want to be the person putting on the event.
Yeah.
And so I think I got a lot of the things that I do from Ricky. I know I'm jumping a ton here, but like, he was the first person to do VIP tables at fights. No one ever did that. For the life of it, it was always just seating around a ring,
Yeah.
But he would sell like 100+ tables every show. I think we ended up, we did our first show on Pensacola Beach, and my brother lived in Hawaii, so it was on an island. I just said, hey, let's call it Island Fights. So we ended up calling it Island Fights because kind of relation to what my brother was doing in Hawaii. And then we ended up going from there to selling like 127 tables. We were averaging, like, on a bad show, like 90 to 127 tables at Island Fights.
That's
insane. And then in 2013 we started doing pro events, and then it just kind of, like, went nuts. Like, we had just had too many people to fit in the Hilton. Like, I remember at one of our events, I swear we had 400 or 500 people that could not get in. And that's where, like, where do we do these events? There's no in between in Pensacola. We went to Live Nightclub for a while. That was great. They're like the funnest events ever, but it was still, like, too small for what we were actually like planning to do. And then, like, the more and more we started, like, to build some of the local guys' names up, they would sell more tickets, etc. We just needed to be in a different place. The Bay Center is kind of tough because it's a 10,000 person arena. Like, Kevin Hart doesn't sell out in Pensacola. Elton John
I went to that show.
In Pensacola. It's weird. They'll sell out in 30 seconds anywhere else, but, like, Pensacola is a very weird market. So it's like, it's not necessarily a fight town. We kind of had to develop a fan base. And then, like, after the pandemic, we're like, look, we're just going to commit to a show every 8 weeks, no matter what. and we don't care how many people show up. Like, if it takes a L, like, fuck it. Like, we need to develop amateurs, because eventually we started doing the pro shows. Like, we ran out of locals fighting professionally because we stopped doing the amateur shows. And I'm like, I can't ever stop doing amateur events because, like, that's how you develop these athletes. They can fight for us for as long as they want. If they don't turn pro, cool, but at least they have a place to do it, and it's on a big stage and a big venue. We do full production on our amateur show now. Like, no one else does it. No one's spending.
That's true, dude. Like
$25,000 to rent a building for an amateur show. You know. Like,
I remember going. I can't remember which island fights it was. I think it was in the *60s. Number 60 something.
1960s.
Which one is that? 69. Dude, and then the very last one, the one before Cam main evented. He co-main evented one. But we walked out and there was like a mini doc filmed on him by River Cody Cody River.
Yeah.
And the level up in just those 10 events maybe.
Yeah.
I was just like,
we were on Fight Pass from Island Fights 46 to like 50 something.
Yeah, and Dana stiffed us on that whole looking for a fight. What's up, Dana?
It's crazy.
What's good, bro?
It's crazy.
Well, what really happened was John Jones failed his test.
Yeah.
And then they had to take an entire
And Dana
event.
broke his leg.
Well, he did. Yeah. He did fuck up his
foot.
Did he?
100%. Damn, you should have let that be an excuse.
That was. He made a whole video about it.
Yeah, I know.
I remember seeing that
y'all played
video
it live,
playing at the fight.
And then you guys don't even understand. That's the worst fucking. You have no idea. Like, I've never in my life. I could lose the main event. Khabib could be on our card. I could lose the main event. I won't even move a muscle. But like that day, I just wanted to cry in a corner. Like, the producer lands, like the whole looking for a fight production team lands, and they're like, Dean, like, we're all here. We're at the airport, but Dana's not coming. Like, he fucked his foot up.
You're like, haha, that's crazy.
You're funny.
I'm like, what? Like, so many people bought tickets just because he was coming to the event. Like, like, you didn't realize the power of it until like you have a show when he's on the poster that he's coming. Like, it was insane. You know? I feel like a lot of things, I don't know, like we might have progressed a little more quickly if he would have came to that event too, you know. So it was that was the worst phone call I ever got in my entire life. And then having to tell, like, Brock Weaver fought Tyler Hill on that show.
I know, and they're boys,
teammates, and
boys.
Friends. Like, they're doing it because Dana's coming. Like, and then I gotta go, like,
the emotion in that fight was
still want to
crazy.
Fight each other.
Yeah.
You know, like, I have to go make this conversation with everybody, everyone on the card, like every single person. I just had to convince Socrates Pierre was fighting Mike Davis, and then Socrates Pierre had a bad weight cut. I had to switch Elvin Brito to fight Mike Davis because James Freeman had a bad weight cut also, like, had to be rushed to the emergency room. This is all happening in a 24-hour span. Like, what else could be thrown at me? Like, James Freeman goes to the emergency room, weight cut. Socrates Pierre can't fight, worst weight cut ever. And then I gotta say, Elvin Brito, you want to fight Mike Davis? Like,
and then Mike
it's like
put it
one
on
of the hardest fights you're probably ever gonna have, and you're gonna take this fight on 24-hour notice when you've trained for somebody else. It's like, and this is your career on the line. Like, oh, and now, sorry, Dana's not coming either. So, like, hopefully he'll be watching from his computer or television at home.
It's always like that, though. You know what I mean? When everything is starting to fuck up,
and then Dana doesn't come. It's like, what else? And we lost Greg Hardy. The week before that, he was fighting Dakota Merritt. He gets signed by the UFC, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
but even with all that shit happening, that card was still crazy.
Still,
I mean, that main event was like, dude, I was watching it with Colby Shields.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was still little at this point. Yeah. He's almost to our eye level now, but we were watching it and, like, we were talking to each other like we didn't know who the other person was. Like, we're telling each other the story that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we're commentating it to one another. Yeah. Like, I couldn't believe they were fighting, and I'm like, and for him to not make it out to be able to see this, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it was.
That's tough.
That was like one of the worst things I've ever had to go through on a fight week, and we have some pretty crazy stuff because everybody else, no one gets any of that. They just show up and they watch the fights.
Yeah,
they have no idea what happened on fight week, and it is that would be the greatest show in the entire world. Like, people have no idea.
See, that's the kind of shit that I think would be so cool is to do like mini doc type stuff, like the week leading up. You know, like,
dude, no, y'all need a YouTube
like
period.
The like UFC like embedded stuff, but for your side of it, where it's like people can see, holy shit, this is the stuff they go through 5 days before the fight, and leading up to that, like the 24 hours before that card starts, bro, you'd have 5 days of footage. You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
seriously.
And y'all absolutely have characters.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got a personality. It ain't like y'all lacking in that department.
Yeah. I mean,
it would be nuts. Like, just the phone calls, just the deals that we're putting together, the stuff we have coming up, like, people wouldn't even believe it. People wouldn't even believe, just on a fight weekend, like, the stuff that we do when we're out of town, at a fight. Because I don't post shit. Like, I don't post anything we got going on. Like, they'll post some stuff, but I don't post where we're at, what we're doing, who we're with. But we're with, like, people wouldn't even believe it, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's pretty crazy. But, yeah, it's been a pretty crazy long ride. But that's how it all started. We started from a little store in the mall, but everything really stemmed on my brother and him fighting and competing in Hawaii. And then, that's kind of how it all started.
So when it did start, like, and you were selling T-shirts, obviously you didn't envision growing the local MMA community like you have.
Well, so I forgot about this. So I used to set up at these other events.
Oh, okay.
So, like, there was a guy who did some shows in Destin, and then there was, these shows in Biloxi. So we would set up like a booth and sell tickets. And or not tickets, we'd sell merchandise. We would like we'd kill it there. But we would like meet, just like meeting people. I'm like, damn, like, yeah, I want to do that. Like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing that.
You were kind of into the scene already because of
So I had known everybody, like, but the thing was like, you can't just put on shows because you're connected to like the fight world. This is before we had our gym. Then we had our gym. We're super connected. We're at fights every weekend because we have like our guys fighting on the card.
Yeah.
We have a full boxing thing, so like all of our boxers would go fight, and then our MMA guys would go take fights. So it was like a cool team, and so that's how we're like super entrenched in that. But like putting on the events is definitely what I wanted to do for sure.
And with you doing this, was it just natural that everybody kind of went their own way, or you had to disband? As far as like, we can't have our own gym running every single fight.
Well, no. So everybody started. So
obviously we know where Trey went.
I don't even know if it was Tony. I think it might have been someone else in the gym. Started Gracie Downtown.
Okay.
So Gracie Downtown was started by them, and they had went and opened that up. And Tony was such a great coach. Like he wasn't even the head coach at our gym. He was like under Pat Vito at the time, but he was just such a great coach. Like, obviously, no wonder why his gyms are doing great, Yeah. And then I think John ended up. I don't know where John ended up going, but I think he ended up with the academy. A
lot of people in the academy.
And then Trey is at Remedy, but I think they had all went together and were training with James Neville's like out in. I really don't even remember how it all went, but everybody kind of went on and did their own thing. But I was started getting so busy with the fights, I couldn't keep the gym open. And I was a personal trainer also at our gym that we owned. So like every hour I have a client all day long, every day. So I had like no time to do anything. And I was like, damn, this gym's like costing me ridiculous, like anywhere from 10 to 20 grand a month to keep this place open. And it's all my time. Like, I train somebody from this time, like till 10 o'clock at night, I'm training people all day long. And I was just like, I don't have time to fully put 100% of my effort into the fights, and that's what I need to be doing. And they started just getting bigger and bigger. The first fight we sold 24 tables. The next fight we sold 30-something tables. The next fight it's like 40-something tables. And I'm not saying I'm saying like all because I was involved in like with the fights, that would have never worked. Like that's the smallest. Like anybody who's involved in the fights or trains at a gym locally, like all because you're involved in that doesn't mean you could put on a fight promotion. I was like, I'm not like tooting myself here, but I was a pretty popular dude in this town just from high school to knowing everybody. My brother was 2 years older, so I knew all his friends. My little brother's 5 years younger, so like the age gap, I knew like everybody from every different thing. So
J. Cole Middlechild.
So many people that like on the going out scene, you're selling tables. Like it's different. Like it's not just like, oh, you train at a gym, you can start putting on fights. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
Like I knew a ton of people in this town, and they would all come to the events. Plus, like my parents and all their friends and everybody. Like that's a whole nother demographic of people. So it was kind of just worked out in my favor that way. And you need like all of that combined to make it all work.
Yeah.
So
obviously that's where it came from. Is there a vision for the future? Like, we see what the present is, and it's fucking beautiful.
Ripping and tearing.
I mean, it's crazy what it's come from.
Yeah.
Is there like I hate to be like an interview question. Is there a 5-year plan? Like, do you see yourself in 5 years?
We have a major plan. My plan used to be to
just murder out the Civic Center, black on black, all the way down. We see what you pulled up in. Just drip it out black, dude.
Drippy, dude.
You know?
Well, I wanted to like I don't know. There's stuff I don't even know if we could talk about, but
no, you can. Nobody watches this.
Yeah, all
fine.
right,
We're good. Nobody's listening.
People, yeah, it's
So-
fine, dude. We're good.
So my dream used to be obviously to like work for the UFC, like being the matchmaker for the UFC, because I own my businesses, but I also match the fights on the pro level. Devin and Andy do a great job on Island Fights amateur stuff. Andy like helps out on our pro stuff. And he'll be like more involved as we grow with our new Icon deal and a bunch of different stuff. But as far as like, I just always like to match the big fights, and me and Masvidal, like we're on the phone, not even joking, probably 4 hours per day, every day, like Monday through Sunday. He's like pretty involved. We're always just brainstorming, but I'd say that was always my goal, and no one. All close people to me know, but in 2021, I got offered the vice president of operations position for the PFL matchmaker. Also, and huge money, huge.
Would you have made that
options.
Francis deal then?
I would have been a part of that for sure.
I mean, but would you have been like, yo, let's get Francis?
Well,
Like,
every company's different, so I can't say that would be the smartest deal. Plus, I don't know exactly what he got paid. I've been told what he got paid.
Yeah.
So, like, for that type of money, absolutely not. But, that's just a sign. Like, he got, like, psychotic money just to sign, you know?
Yeah.
But I really, really, really liked those guys, Peter Murray and Jim Branson. Like if anybody made me steer my decision to do anything else and go work for a company, like I would have worked for them because I really believed in their vision, and they're just really, really good people, and I really wanted to work with them, but I wasn't able to do Game Bread. I wasn't able to do Island Fights. I wasn't able to do Showtime with Anthony Pettis at the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to do Icon, like, you know, and it's like I just feel like I didn't work this long and this hard and get to the point where we're at now, like to become somebody's employee, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd rather make $50,000 a year, $10,000 a year, doesn't matter, rather than $1 million a year and like
Working for somebody
answer
else.
to other people. Like it's not, because I tell everybody on our team, they always hear me. Like I said, nobody works for anybody. We work with each other. It's just always something I've told everybody. So plus, you know, can I take my team with me?
yeah.
Like, you're gonna pay everybody on my staff, because I have my little core group of people. Like, you know, and they were willing to do that. The PFL was gonna take all of our people too, but
you just couldn't give up the other
it
thing.
was just like probably the hardest decision I've ever made. And then like going back to their events, because I helped them match a ton of stuff. No one knows any of it. Like so many people went to the PFL that some people that went to the PFL didn't even know I'm the one that got them in the PFL.
Yeah.
Because I don't tell them. But there's a lot of things that happened on those cards. But then I would go to their shows and like Peter Murray would be like, Dean, come on. He's like, I promise you, this will be the best business decision you've ever made in your life. You know, and then you start thinking like
Hold
fuck.
on. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then it's still hard when I think about it. I'm like, damn, like I'm fucking the most stressed out human being in the world, and I could have just did that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
But you
that
say
side
that.
of it-
You
yeah.
say that, and I think you would have lived with regret knowing that you had walked away from something you birthed.
I mean,
Especially now.
bro,
Yeah.
the Island Fights in this community, like bro, I mean, it's insane. You
Dude,
know what I mean? And all the like you're talking about everything that you've done to get from where you started to that. It's like, dude, walking away from something like that, like like you're talking about, it would be great to not have, stressed out like all the time and like be able to,
Well, that's my thing too. Is like I don't think that's gonna change. I'd probably be the same stressed out working for the PFL as I would just doing what we're doing now. Dude, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be the same problem. Someone's gonna back out on fight week. Someone's gonna it's something crazy is gonna happen always, and it just it never ever stops.
We always think like as humans, like yo, we're gonna get to that next thing, and that's gonna solve it, or we're gonna get to this next thing, and that's gonna solve it, or we think what is will always be. Like this headache I have will always be, but sometimes you figure shit out and it's not as bad as it used to be, or you forget that was even a problem before.
Yeah, and I'm the king of figuring it out. Like that's what you are. And you're in the fight promotion business. You are a certified problem solver. That's it. Yeah. Like we don't like, oh, we lost this main event. Like, how can you let that happen? Like we don't have time to talk about why, who, what, how. Somebody tells me they're out of a fight. Cool. Yeah. We're not even having a conversation. I'm already trying to fix it. Like I don't have time to. I don't give a fuck what happened or any of that. Like I just need to figure out like what's the replacement. And it's not has nothing to do with you or me or anybody. It has everything to do with your opponent. Like this dude just did a 6 to 10 week camp. Like that's my only concern. It's like this dude just did a camp. He deserves to fight. He deserves to get paid. Let me fix this. Don't tell me on Tuesday of fight week. You literally could have told me Sunday and I could have fixed the entire thing, I end up fixing it, but that's the last shit you want to do on fight week is be matchmaking fights.
Now here's a point of view that we don't have privy to. You like that?
I don't know where you
I don't even know if that's how you use that word.
Go ahead. No,
that felt right, didn't it? Privy?
It sounded good.
Like we're not. I think I used it wrong. I think we're not privy.
We are not privy to.
How did I say it?
Dude,
I think
you said privy.
Okay, I think that's
correct.
You're
good.
So we're not privy to your point of view in the sense of like, and I lost it.
Forgot it already.
My point of view may be different than yours, and the way you guys look at a certain situation, or
yeah, I know you're going.
Yeah,
you're going in the right direction of where I was.
Solving wise.
I have ADD, so I forget everything.
Oh, this is what it was.
Okay.
So we're not privy to the point of view that you have. I'm thinking, like, as a human stuck with pride, you hold grudges. So when a main event or something that you're looking forward to and you're like, yo, this shit is set up perfect, I ain't even got to think about it no more.
Got the best response for this, but
dude, and I cannot wait because, we're going to be
different than anyone else's.
He doesn't do his dishes.
Yeah.
I'm not holding resentment.
I don't do dishes, bro.
I fucking hate it. I'm holding resentment.
Yeah.
I'm going to start breaking them.
Yeah.
Oh, guess we're out of plates.
Start breaking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How do you not hold a grudge when something falls through and you're like, all right, cool, never getting a main event again? Because guess what? You're not getting a main event again, Hilton.
First of all,
you never give me my food again, dog. How about that?
All right.
Well, that's a big thing. So like a lot of promoters over the years, like somebody backs out, somebody pulls out of a fight, they're gonna make a Facebook post. Oh, Joe Schmo, Jimmy Smith.
Don't work with this guy.
Out, fuck this dude. Put him on the boycott list. Whatever. This dude. Whatever. And I'm like shit happens. Like, I've never in my life ever bashed any human being on social media for backing out of a fight, for performance, just for anything. I've never, because number one, you never know what anybody will become in this sport, right? Like, you could be the dude, like, in the back just sweeping up the hallways, and that dude could end up being the VP of Bellator. He might be the matchmaker of one. Like, you literally have no idea. Anybody can become anything, so never burn your bridges, right? And then the second thing was people like, damn, what was I just saying? I forgot.
About not holding a grudge?
Yeah.
Hey,
oh, yeah.
Look, karma comes back full circle right there.
I'm telling you, I got the worst ADD ever. So I'll give you an example. So I had a guy, Socrates Pierre, fought for me forever, right?
Yeah.
But the night that he couldn't fight Michael Davis, right? The most important night in our lives, because it was Dana White looking for a fight at Island Fights, right? I think that was our main event. We're freaking losing our minds. I don't even know if it was the main event. But first of all, it was such a great fight. Him versus Mike Davis would have been incredible. But everybody expected me to never, ever, ever deal with Socrates again, right? Like, okay, but shit like that happens. And then 2 years later, okay, Tyler Hill's on the card. His opponent pulls out. I call Socrates Pierre. He takes the fight in less than 24 hours, saves our entire event, and it was like the greatest fight ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could have been this dude who got on the internet and like bashed this guy who's always shown up and fought for me, always put on the best fights ever, was our former champion. Fought Brock Weaver, won. It was one of the best fights ever seen. And then the second fight, beats him the second fight for our title. Like, was always just a great dude to us. So, like, you know, he doesn't show up and make weight one time. I'm going to go bash him on the internet. So I never did that. And, like, but if I would have did that, like, he would have he saved that entire event for us, you know? And he ended up taking a loss that night. So, like, not only did he save our event, but he, like, sacrificed his own career.
Yeah.
Because every fight as a professional literally is your career on the line. Yeah. So you have to take that stuff into consideration for everything. But he saved us on that event, and, like, that's always my example. Like, I've never held a grudge on anything. There's stuff people have done, like, a few times in the last 12 years we've been doing this. It might have upset me or whatever, but I don't hold any grudges with anybody or anything.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be tough, this next question. And I get it. And I'm not even a dad, so I don't even get it on that level. And I know you're a dad. But do you have a favorite fighter that has come through yours?
Oh, that's tough.
So, there's a lot of names going to be listening.
That's tough.
So, like, pick your favorite.
Getting deep now, dog.
Hurt feelings. You're going to have to step on some
That's
toes.
been so many mad people. Now, one of my favorite fighters ever was Ignacio Bahamondes. He still doing incredible now, you know.
Man, I just hear Cam's heart breaking in half.
Oh, we're talking about
He's
amateurs or
upset.
pros?
I mean, anybody you put on. You turn
I
on the
love
light.
watching Ignacio. I would get like super excited to watch fight. Max Mustaki was like super exciting to watch. I love watching him fight. Watched him fight live at the Contender. It was like absolute like.
Yeah, I remember.
Couldn't even hold my phone in my hand because my
That's
hands
crazy,
are dripping
dude.
sweat. It was a psychotic fight.
I remember we were
Mike
training at
Davis.
Remedy. We stopped the class. Like, because we were timing it based off of the class, we'd stop the class and we all watched his fight live at Remedy. That was crazy. I was like, whoa, our
That was
gymmer is
crazy.
doing big things.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Same thing like Mike Davis.
Yeah, Mike
His
Davis.
Contender Series fight absolutely against Sadiq Yusuf. Most insane thing ever. Dylan Kleckler's literally never went to a decision his entire career. How could he not be like super one
And
of the
hey,
funnest
he was
guys to
winning
watch?
that last fight.
Yeah, he's
bro.
doing great.
That was
you know?
insane. I was like, dude, he's gonna get him out of here. And I was
Couple
like,
more
hey,
leg
you
kicks
can't.
and it would have been done.
Yeah, you can't get in a war. Shots get fired.
Yeah,
It's
and then
crazy.
this little overhand right that you just never in a million years, and you know that's what he throws.
Yeah.
and then, like he's done it to everybody in the entire world. I'm trying to think like some other people that were my favorite. Yeah, I love Cam. I love Heath Herndon, SD, Josh Mayo, super fun.
Dude, hey, who's got a better walkout?
No, I mean no one has a better walkout for sure.
He must pay these folks.
Yeah, I mean,
And you must pay the
He's got a
janitors
production.
extra. Just
Brock
he's got a
Weaver.
clean that
production.
up.
Brock Weaver was one of my favorite people to watch. And a lot of these people were friends of mine. So, like, in the beginning, I was close to a lot of the people competing because we're always, like, with each other. Now, it's I don't have the same closeness with a lot of the athletes because we're so busy and we're gone a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, back then, like, watching these guys that I'm friends with fight, like, sometimes I wouldn't even sit at the ring, like, when Brock fought. So I'd be, like, sick to my stomach watching them fight, you know?
dude, I can't even imagine what some of that feels like. Because, like, even for me, that was some of the first stuff I was watching was, like, Brock at Island Fights. Like, when I don't know how long ago that was, but that was some of the first ones I was going to.
Yeah.
And then seeing fight in the UFC, even though, like, I wasn't super hard into the community, but seeing, like, there's something about Pensacola that people ride or die for this city.
Even kind of around
Dude.
here, Alan Belcher, Brandon Davis.
But, like,
all
seeing
those
him
people,
fight
yeah.
in the UFC, I was at work at Urban Swinery at the time, and I remember losing my shit watching him fight because I was like, holy shit, like, this is insane, like, freaking the fuck out. So I can't even imagine what it feels like, you know, knowing these dudes forever.
That was a crazy ride, too, because, like, Brock was a guy who was... This dude was, like, 5-9 as an amateur, right? Fought everybody, like, didn't care. This dude was fighting with a fake ID at 17 years old, like... He absolutely didn't care.
Sounds about right.
The worst ever amateur
work.
record, right? Not the worst ever. He was still like super
Roasted
talented. But yeah, Brock's the worst.
Salty record.
Boom, roasted.
But Brock he ends up turning pro. I think he ends up, I don't even know what his record ended up being, but his record ended up being like 6-4. And it was like at a point where it's like I don't really know like what we're gonna do like anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And like fuck it. So then he just started fighting everybody. That's when he started. He said, fuck it, I'm going to fight Tyler Hill. I'm going to fight Socrates Pierre. I'm going to fight Rance Jones Jr. I'm going to fight everybody. He starts fighting it. He ends up on like a 9-fight win streak. Ends up on the Contender. Loses his opponent due to a bad weight cut. Takes another fight at 170, not 55. And fights Rashad Evans' godson.
Yeah.
Or nephew that's a wrestler, 9-0 wrestler from Michigan State.
Yeah.
Okay. And he fucking just outdogs this dude. It's the craziest fight probably I've ever been to because it was like a backyard like dog fight.
Yeah.
You're in the apex. You're allowed to bring 4 people with you, 4 to 6 people. I forget what it was. This dude has 4 to 6 people with him. So it's like all of our people screaming and yelling while Brock's fighting. Their people screaming and yelling. Like it's about to be like a riot in this building. And Brock didn't even necessarily do anything like crazy in that fight. He just outdogged this dude. Like he wanted it more, and he won that fight. Like that dude was probably the toughest opponent to get a wrestler like that on the Contender because it's hard to look good. It's hard to that's like a roll of the dice on the Contender. If you end up like with a guy who's gonna try to like wrestle fuck you the whole time.
Yeah.
You can't show the matchmakers and you can't show Dana White, Hunter Campbell. You can't show these guys like what you have in your toolbox because if you're just going to defend takedowns against the cage the whole time. And he just like outdogged this dude, won that fight. Super, super impressive. And he did it in a different weight class, you know. But that was like he lost his opponent. There was only 4 weeks left of the Contender. If you don't take this fight at 70, like you might not have this spot on the Contender. And then what? You got to go right back on the regional scene. You've got 14 pro fights at this point. Like you're not gonna get some 3-3 dude. Like you're gonna have to fight somebody. So it's like even your next fight before you get back in is gonna be tough. And now you're gonna have to win like a 10th fight and get on a 10th fight win streak to get into the UFC. Wins his fight on the Contender, has the greatest post-fight speech in Dana White Contender Series history, and then he gets in. But that was that meant a lot, that one. You know, that one meant a lot. All of them mean a lot because it changes, you know, these guys' lives. But like that one meant a lot. Chris Barnett was a huge one for us. He was our first ever champion for Island Fights. You know, there was just like we have a couple left that from like the Island Fights OGs that I wish we could have got in there. But pretty much all the people that fought with us from the beginning got in.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. There's been so many amazing things that have come out of that building. Is there any like future plans for you guys to do, I don't know, like renaming it?
No, never.
Like the Pensacola Bay Center? No, not like Island Fights. Like
the Bay Center?
Yeah,
like
at this point, y'all gotta have some sort of co-naming rights.
Yeah,
like get a sponsor to come in, like Prime. You know, Prime Island Fights Arena.
The Island Fights Arena.
Yeah,
I mean
that sounds way better than Pensacola Bay Center.
Yeah.
Like, what is the Bay Center? Full of water?
It's tough.
Like, it's full of Island Fights, bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Picking up what you're putting down.
You got 2 marketing geniuses right here.
Hey,
We're big idea guys.
Big idea guys.
I like that. That used to be my dream. Like one day I'm gonna buy that building, so I don't have to pay the rent. But then I don't have to pay the money to keep it up. It's gonna be way worse.
Yeah, but then you could rent it out to other people, like Monster Jam, fucking WWE.
Monster Jam. Yeah.
You know, big people be paying you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I like that idea. Well, we have a bunch of things like you asked, like pretty much about our 5-year plan. Like we do have a 5-year plan, but we have so many like amazing things in the works right now. Like with Gamebred Boxing, Gamebred FC, Icon. Like we expect to have 24 fights a year for Icon next year. That's 2 per month.
Wow.
We have a major, the most insane boxing deal ever that we should be announcing soon. I just can't even say it, but there's no bigger fights in the world that will happen bigger than the fights we'll be doing on that show.
Really?
And then, you know, Gamebred FC, next year we'll have 12 of those, or Gamebred Bare Knuckle. We'll have we'll have 12 events next year. We have 2 events lined up. We have an event September 2nd at the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, sick.
Main event is Fabricio Verdum versus Junior Dos Santos. Bare knuckle MMA. Henan Barral.
The air just left the room.
Holy fuck.
Henan
Barral.
Barral versus Sean Soriano, co-main event.
Really?
Huge. Brandon Davis will be on that card. A bunch of people will be on that card. You know, Erwin Rivera's on that card. Joe Penafield's back on that card. Josh Weems is on that card versus Erwin Rivera. Killer card. That coming up. But we have major stuff. We'll be in London. Probably at the OVO. October 27th, we'll be in London. And
How quick can we get passports?
you can get it the same day.
Bro, I got
Same
mine.
day,
I got
bro.
mine,
If you have
dog.
a
I'm
plane
ready to
ticket,
rock, dude.
if you have a plane ticket, you can get it same day in New Orleans.
Word.
So,
Man, I'm just saying, like, if 2 tickets are available for seats over there.
if you guys come there, I
insane.
got you. You guys are taken
That's
care
crazy.
of.
Pick up flights, dog.
You can
Shit, dude,
you can work with us
wild, bro.
for the week, and you guys will get paid and everything.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking down. Don't tempt us
Hold
with a
on,
good time.
You said London?
Dude, with all that going on, like 24 events with one promotion, 12 with another, your local amateur stuff here, Island Fights.
Well, that's another thing. Island Fights will no longer. It'll be amateur on the undercards, but we'll be back pro again this year. We'll also be
Word.
back on UFC Fight Pass.
Fuck, yes.
So we have a ton of cities. We're doing them in, like, we have July 8th in Biloxi coming up. Devin Cushion will be on there. Cade will be on there.
Killers.
Some other people I can't really announce yet, but some pretty big names on that card also. That's July 8th. We're probably going to be doing some stuff. We're about to do Lake Charles, but we didn't get our promoter's license yet, so we have to go to some meeting. Was that Friday? I don't know, something. But so we had to reschedule Lake Charles, but we'll be in Hattiesburg, we'll be in Birmingham, we'll be Orange Beach, we'll be everywhere. Like, we could potentially have an Island Fights event every week.
Fuck, yeah.
Eventually, but that'll all be pro again. You know, and that's where most of these people came from was Island Fights in the beginning. And to be honest, like, as great of a show as you guys have been to in the last couple of years, like, I've completely, I don't want to say the word, but, like, deprived my energy of actually, like, promoting Island Fights. You know, I really don't even post a ton about it. Kind of just let it do its thing, and you know, that's a shitty way of explaining that, but I need to. We're gonna all collectively, like, really get back to putting Island Fights, like, back on the map big time, and not just here but all over. Like, we will be going from Fort Walton Beach to everywhere. We'll literally be going everywhere, and we'll be going north too. So we'll eventually end up in Nashville, eventually end up in Tennessee.
Dude.
Everywhere we'll be in Texas. Like,
Gorgeous
and we're going to
over there.
grow that thing to wherever. And we want to end up with our own app where people can just watch it on our own app. And that's pretty much our big plan is, regardless of which promotion, we'd like to end up with our own platform where you can pay $10 a month, $12.99 a month, and watch all of our shows on one place. One subscription, and think that's gonna, like, change the game for everything. Even Game Bred Boxing, like the show we did in Milwaukee. You know, if everybody would have tuned in and paid $10 a month for that, like, we'd be making, it'd be the most psychotic thing ever. So, like, sometimes you just kind of gotta trial and error and see what works and what doesn't, and that's the long play. We have really, really, really good funding behind us for Game Bred Bare Knuckle. The same situation for the boxing. The boxing blows everything else out of the water. It's not even close. So I'm talking, like, whatever you think in your brain is the biggest fight in the world in boxing, this will be bigger than that, and it'll be 4 times a year.
That's wild, man.
So with all
crazy
that going
shit.
on at the same time, how do you not spread yourself too thin to where you can give all these things love? Like, obviously you have to delegate a lot.
Well, the thing is like, we're used to putting on these events. Like, last year we put on 17 events from January until May of this year. Last January to May of this year, we did 17 live events. Most of those were televised events. So, like, we can do those with our eyes closed. That event we just did with Roy Nelson and Dylan Kleckler, 3 weeks we did to promote that show.
Yeah.
3 weeks we decided to put that event on, and it was massive, and in a huge arena, Florida Panthers arena, huge main event, killer card. Every celebrity you ever thought of in your life was in the building, from Kamaru
champions.
Usman to
Crazy.
Tyreek Hill, Tyler Hero. Everybody's at this show. Mark Rubio, like everybody, David Njoku, like every single offensive lineman from the Miami Dolphins, singers, influencers, every UFC fighter there is. Like it's insane. There's a lot of really cool things we're doing, and like I told people, like we're gonna change the sport in a lot of ways. Like we'll be the secondary market. Like if you go to the UFC, and like we always want everybody to go to the UFC. Like that's everybody's dream. It's their goal, and they deserve that. But if it doesn't work out there, like now, maybe you don't have all this pressure on you to win or lose a fight because, well, shit, fuck, I can go fight for Dean, and I'll be compensated for it, But we're not trying to like derail anybody's career or anything. We're just an option. Like, oh, if that doesn't work out, like you can come here and earn a paycheck that like is fair, And if you make it to a certain point, like you could change your life, and we could change your life with the amount of money we're paying these people. Like there's like look at Dylan's situation. In 4 weeks, like got a pretty good deal for the Roy Nelson gig. I called Dylan. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we're gonna go to Disney World. I'm like, when? And he's like, this week. I'm like, well, what if you took a fight that week, against Roy Nelson? And he's like, oh man, like I'm going to Disney World with the family. And I'm like, well, how about this?
So you're like, saying there's a chance.
All right, we'll go to Disney World the next week. So, but just stuff like that, like nothing makes me happier than that. Like people that came up from the beginning, like if I could help them in any way, especially on a financial tip, like they come in and can make some money here, like that's probably like, telling somebody they made it to the UFC is the best phone call in the world. Telling somebody they made it to the PFL, like any of that stuff's the best thing in the world. And then also being able to help them, like, can compensate somebody for taking a fight that, might change their life. That's the best feeling in the world too. So I'm glad that we get to do all of those things. I still get to call people and tell them, hey, you're in the UFC. Hey, you're in the PFL. Hey, you're in Bellator. So those type of things.
Have you guys ever tried something that wasn't maybe like, I don't know, originally thought of? Like MMA, yes, but have you guys ever tried anything like what Brock is doing with wrestling? Have y'all ever ventured to like, yo, we might do some WWE type shit?
Probably not.
No.
Not the wrestling thing. It's just not my thing. Like I don't watch it of. And like I grew up with John and Josh and Joe, like, or Roman Reigns. I don't know. How I can't even call him that because I just knew him as Joe. But like, we came up with those people. So like, and they're buddies of mine, and I still don't watch it. Like they're my boys. But should we drop that news on here? I'll probably get sued. No, I won't say no.
Oh, shit.
This will get shut down and everybody will lose their job. Tell the future of that sport.
Damn, dog.
Got a little hot in
going on in here. Turn the fan on, dude.
Yeah, well, that'd be a million views instantly if I said that on here.
Damn, dude.
Just there's a bunch of cool stuff we've done too. Like, a lot of people don't know that I matched the Quintet Ultra card. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Really?
But it was WEC versus Strikeforce versus UFC versus Pride. And like those guys are like my idols growing up. Sakuraba, Gomi.
Yeah.
Like I booked those guys. It was one of the best grappling events in the entire world. Gordon Ryan did against Alex Olieknik. I forget how you pronounce his name.
That's very close.
Danielle Kelly.
Yeah.
Danielle Kelly went against Cynthia Carvalho. That was probably the coolest event I've probably been a part of, and took our whole team up there. We did that event at the Red Rock in Vegas, and everybody from Rumble Johnson to Clay Guida, Chad Mendez, Hector Lombard, Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez, King Mo was on that show, Sugar Sean O'Malley, like everybody. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. like that show was Gregor Gracie.
Yeah.
Glover was on there before he was the champion. Like, it's just insane how crazy that event was. Like, star power period was nuts. But yeah, like that's another thing we plan on doing too, is doing some cool grappling stuff.
So do you guys follow like Flow Grappling and who's number one and all that?
I don't follow like it to the T, but I know who the best people in the world are.
Yeah.
Like, we're also supposed to announce one of the number one guys in the world potentially taking a bare knuckle MMA fight.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Can't talk about that though.
Damn. My mind is racing with like grappling information real quick. I'm just like, who could that be? Now,
thinking about it.
There's some people, but I'm thinking like they themselves probably think they're too attractive to take a bare knuckle fight. Like,
No,
it can't be Nicky
so.
Rod. It can't be Gordon.
We're gonna throw names out. Dude.
Imagine if it was them against each other, bro. Plug, unplug
Get
this.
out of here, dude.
We'll shut it down,
crazy.
dude.
No.
The reason. Anyways,
what if it was one of them?
well then that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, it's insane.
Yeah. Now, what would be even crazier is if it was like against Francis or something. See, I went a little too retarded.
Yeah, it's
See,
a little.
that's
a little.
what
wild.
happens when
It's a
you
little
step
too
way too
far out.
far.
Francis is under
It's a little too
contract,
far out.
Yeah.
so he's not doing any bare knuckle.
That's
MMA fights.
crazy.
Oh my god,
Dude, crazy matchup.
Go ahead.
Mike Perry, Nicky Rod? Now, Nicky Rod outweighs him, but like Mike
Yeah.
Perry ain't said no to nothing.
Very true. Very
You
true.
know? He fight his own shadow.
Nicky Rod's gnarly too, man. Golly.
All right, let's just walk away from the.
Yeah.
Let's
we'll move on.
Oh, shit. So there's been a massive debate, and like we haven't weighed in on it, but you are like the head honcho of Island Fight. So like a lot of people are talking.
Yeah.
And some of the names are Cam, Juan, Alexander Shank, Max. There's been a ton of people, but these people have weighed in on it themselves. Most attractive Island Fighter of all time. This has been a massive debate for years.
No, this is deep. I don't
And
know
I'm not
if
saying-
Hold on.
it's-
Oh, one of the fighters?
Yeah.
They fight amongst
Oh,
themselves
who's
thinking,
the most attractive
Yeah.
fighter that's ever fought for Island Fights?
yeah.
Probably, Hannah Goldie for sure.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and how could you now? And they're guys, and they're picking themselves.
Oh, you're talking about dudes. Like,
That's
yeah,
what
I don't
they're
know.
saying. Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, I don't know."
You probably have to ask Levi who's the most attractive dude.
Whoa!
Damn.
That's another announcement we're making on the podcast. If he's announcing he like guys.
He said, "Get him out of here,
Who's
dog."
the most attractive person that's ever fought for Island Fights?
Yeah, put him on the spot.
That might be incriminating. You could do that.
Now, I will tell you, like, one might be a
pretty
P
funny.
star now.
It went back and forth for a while. There was social media beef about this for a good minute.
Yo,
What's up?
who's the most attractive fighter that's ever fought for Island Fights?
That's a long pause.
Gotta pull out his pocketbook.
Yeah, he's like.
Huh?
Trying to think. What's up?
I'm asking you. Just give me your first thought. First comes to your head.
In my head, whoever fought for us for Island Fights,
Yeah, who's the most?
attractive,
Yeah.
say Hannah.
All right.
It's
I
unanimous.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Hands
All right, well,
down.
there's
I mean,
a
what's
bunch
your-
of dudes with their
Hands
hearts
down.
crushed.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like other girls that fought for us.
See, this is taking a different turn than I thought.
Yeah.
These dudes are wanting you to say one of their names.
100%.
Who's the most attractive dude who's fought
Now,
for
I will
Island
say,
Fights?
if you're
Yeah.
taking like personal
know how to
feelings
answer
out
that,
of
you
it,
know?
if you're just taking personal feelings out of it and you're just going by the numbers,
Okay, so who's
you gotta
winning?
go Juan,
who's
right?
winning?
Because just
I
statistically,
mean,
he's got the views on the
on all of it.
the undermarket. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you.
I guess it depends on your type.
Yeah,
You trying to get a country boy? You trying to get a,
yeah.
Not.
you know?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
how to
there
answer
was-
that, but I'm sure everybody has a different
That's a good
opinion.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Y'all should do like polls on your Instagram.
I mean, I'm sure I'd win all of that anyways.
Oh, wow.
But just
Yeah,
from
it's
the
a
Island
popular
Fights
event.
organization,
Very
for
That's
sure.
true, that's
Most
true.
handsome dude.
Yeah,
100%.
That's true.
Y'all should do
But-
end of the year awards.
We had them done.
Really?
Yeah, we did. We did them for Icon, then we did them for Island Fights. But we never posted it.
Oof.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to have like Island Fights end of year awards. We should have an end of year Christmas party, which we used to have a Christmas party every year.
Oh, that's tight.
Shit was great. I think we even had an Island Fights ugly Christmas sweater
Gangster.
party. It was incredible.
That's always a good dude. An ugly Christmas sweater party.
You guys want
Always
to
a
help
heavy hitter.
throw
dude.
those?
Hey, dude, another killer one.
Logistically.
Another killer idea. Island Fights roast.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, that might be a little more internal.
Yeah.
Just have like 2 comedians
Yeah.
come in, just start roasting
Yeah,
everybody.
I mean, but that would take 8 hours.
Yeah, a lot of
Listen,
material, I guess,
dude.
can't get out of
Listen,
that
man.
office, but, you know,
Yeah.
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Be a good stream. For sure.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Now, also with fighting, what has been one of the coolest things you've ever done in the fighting industry, unfighting related? So, like, have you ever found yourself, like, bungee jumping with, like, Shaq? You're like, yo, this motherfucker doesn't even fight.
Off like, a hot air
Like, just
balloon or
something crazy that, or, like, coolest
Yeah.
moment, like, you just piss in the
Fishing
Grand
with
Canyon.
Michael Jordan or something, or something wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some.
Or you
pretty-
beat Michael Jordan
I
in
don't
a
know if
gambling
these
match.
are even explainable or allowed to talk.
You're
about.
like, I did DMT with Joe Rogan.
I don't know. Like I took, I dropped off. I was in a limo and I dropped off, like Masvidal and and a few people at the UFC arena. And like when it's the craziest thing ever. But I walked them in, and then through the back, like let us in through the back. This was Conor McGregor versus Cerrone.
Oh, wow.
Huge fight week.
Yeah.
That's
when he's wearing the Versace
Yeah.
cage side. Masvidal was.
Oh yeah.
The robe.
No. Was it that one?
Yeah, because like the camera cut to him
Yeah.
live in the fight because they thought Conor was going to call
It was
Masvidal.
McGregor Poirier. My bad.
Oh, okay.
It's McGregor Poirier. Yeah, and then but that's what I was gonna say. So I was walking like out the back door, and then Trump walks in, like full out Secret Service. Everybody pulls up in the SUVs. People are rolling out the back seat, and he just like walks right by me, and then I sit on the.
You're like, what's that?
So then I
Donald
sit.
Trump?
I'm waiting on. Masvidal's manager to walk out. So I'm sitting like this little rail in the back of the T-Mobile arena, and we had this thing. So Pearl Gonzalez was hosting this huge like fight watch party at the MGM Grand with UFC Fight Pass. So like,
Okay.
I'm like cool with all the UFC Fight Pass people. So we went over there, but it was like the whole floor of the MGM Grand completely sold out. It was insane. And so we went over there, watched that event. But so I sit down, waiting for Masvidal's manager to come out, and this dude just stands next to me, sits down next to me, and lights up a cigarette, and it's Dave Chappelle. So that was
No
pretty bad.
fucking way.
bro.
Yeah. So that was like a pretty cool.
That's
Do you smoke
insane.
cigarettes?
I used to. Growing
You should
up.
have just for the fucking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, can I get a puff off that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I did.
nothing weird here.
I'm just so weird though. Like I don't ever speak to like I don't know what it
Celebrities.
is. I'm just like the most opposite.
Is it because you
person.
know they already get it so much?
No,
You're
I
like,
just
this dude
don't-
probably already.
Yeah.
I just don't even. I don't ask for no pictures of anybody. I don't do anything. I'll probably have a pretty cool, detailed, storied life if I took more photos for
Yeah.
sure. Like just all the people we're always around. Just if we documented it, it would be pretty interesting. But I just don't ever
So you would
feel like I'm
literally.
bothering somebody. or
You would
something.
be the perfect homeless man because nobody's going to believe anything you say because it's so all outrageous.
Yeah, nobody.
Crazy.
If you told
Yeah.
people like the
You're gonna be like,
stuff
yo,
that
I
we
saw
do,
Donald
that's
Trump
interesting.
smoke the Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Fucking.
They'd be like, "What is going on?"
They're
with
like,
this dude?
dude.
And I was this close. I
Homie's
was
really
going
off
to
the
his
rails.
dinner. He had a dinner, and Masvidal and everybody
Wow.
went to. It was like Masvidal and Jake Paul, a few other people. I think Dan Bilzerian, a couple other people. I went to dinner with Dan Bilzerian and Adam Weitzman and like the food guy. That was a pretty cool experience, and I didn't even know they were gonna be at the dinner. So just walking in there, that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Have you ever met Drake?
Have not. No.
Have you ever been like, yo, Drake was just here? That close to
Big
Drake?
Drake fan over here.
Night before.
Oh.
The ones left because Drake was there the night before.
Oh shit! No, yeah, yeah. No, that's exactly what happened. So we went to. Fuck it. Yeah. All right. So we went to.
Let's cheers real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cheers to 200 and to this potential
I
Drake
need
story.
some more of this in here, but cheers for that. Topping up over here. It's okay. It was worth the cheers.
Damn. Do you feel like that you're gonna feel like you made it then?
When?
I mean,
you
I
meet
love Drake. One of my favorite artists in the whole world.
So your take on Drake versus Kanye?
I would
who?
definitely ask for a photo with Drake.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Drake, Lil Baby. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Drake versus
Rod
Kanye.
Wave.
Who's got that?
Rod Wave's also a heavy hitter too.
I love both.
And I'm shouting out my buddy Saban because like
Yeah.
he's a major Kanye head, and I'm like, buddy, Drake's got
I love
it.
Dude.
Kanye and I love Drake. I think I have like 5.
If they both
equal
invited
people.
you to a dinner at the same time, and you're like, yo, I can't make both, got to make one.
Tough.
I think for the story, probably Kanye, but like, bro, you
I
get in
get-
with Drake?
The shit that would be
I
talked
feel
about
like
at
Drake
that dinner.
wouldn't give a fuck. Like he's probably has so many people. I think
Yeah,
Kanye's
yeah.
one of those people that maybe at a place and point in his life where
He'll
he
talk
would
to
need
anybody.
Dean as a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He
he
invited
like,
2 people to that dinner, so you
So,
better
like, he
be
might,
there.
like-
yeah. And
he might just start blowing me up and be like, "Yo, I need you to be the
Yeah.
CEO of Yeezy."
He's like, you
Yeah.
think you can get me to fight Jake?
Yeah,
And
he's
you're like,
doing some wild
fucking-
shit at the dinner.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, can we get Yeezy as the main title sponsor for Game Bread Boxing?" You know.
That'd be wild. Everybody
Yeah.
get free Yeezys. I mean, they're
Yeah.
basically giving them away now.
Well,
Well, no, I think they just re-up their deal or something. Right?
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, I think you'd have.
But the Drake story,
Yeah, so
strip club.
we went to this. So I didn't even know we were going to this place. I'm just along for the ride sometimes.
Normally, how strip
that's
clubs
what
go.
I do. Yeah, that's
And
me too.
well, we weren't at the strip club yet,
Yeah.
Oh,
so we
okay.
were going to. We just showed up at the Win. So I'm with Anwell, and I'm with Masvidal, who I'm walking through the MGM Grand with after a UFC fight. Okay, you would have thought Justin Bieber, Michael Jordan, and every other celebrity on the earth was in this little group, right? People are chasing us, screaming, going berserker, like psychotic. We had to literally go inside of a restaurant to hide from the people because it was so insane. And I don't even know how big Anwell was,
Yeah.
ever. And some people still don't know who he is, but he literally has like, 30, 40 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
And sells out like every arena. So we're all with each other, and we go to the Win. We take like a limo to the Win, and this is Marshmello is a resident DJ.
Have you seen
at
his
the
real
Win.
face?
Yeah,
You did?
I got a picture of his real face.
Are we allowed to see it?
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Hell yeah, dude.
So all of a sudden, we're just walking like through this weird little back entrance, and all of a sudden we're in this fucking nightclub, and they walk up on stage and he starts performing. Everybody's here. Logan Paul, fucking Sugar Sean O'Malley, like everybody. O'Malley's so fucked up, it was crazy. But everybody was. I'm like, I didn't even know we were walking to this dude's performance. Like,
Yeah.
it's just his
Yeah.
resident thing at XS or
huge.
Encore or whatever.
Yeah, no
and badass. But we end up, he has a party afterwards. So we go to his party. He lives in the MGM Grand, this badass penthouse. Not at MGM, at the Win.
Yeah.
And everybody's in there. Chuck Liddell's in there. Everybody. Like, just. Oh. All right, so that was great. That's about all I'll say about that at night. And then, so we end up leaving. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. And Spearmint Rhino closes at 8. So we end up at, like, Spearmint Rhino at 8:30. And the club is completely, like, it's done. They ran out of ones because Drake was there. You can't even get ones. And if Anwell is, like, a strip club connoisseur. So, like, we walk in. They still let us go in there. It's Ilya Tapira is with us. It's like me, Ilya Tapira, Anwell, Masvidal, maybe 4 or 5 others. Right? No one else in Spearmint Rhino, like one of the biggest strip clubs in Vegas. And but all the girls stay working, and he just starts ordering. I couldn't even tell you how many bottles in 1942, how many bottles of Johnny Walker Blue, how many he bought. His tab was like $160,000.
What the fuck, bro?
I don't even. It was the craziest shit ever. No one's even drinking the
Yeah.
alcohol.
It's
So
like
I'm
there's
sitting here
there's
trying
like
to drink
5
it with
of y'all.
him. I'm like, bro, all we needed was one bottle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, but this is just what he does, and he's trying to get all these ones.
Yeah.
And there's no ones. There's.
So did somebody have to go to like a bank
No,
or
they
something?
didn't even give him any ones. They refused to give him the ones.
They just started raining bottles?
Oh,
No,
Just throwing them at
there was
chicks?
just no nothing.
He's like, y'all
hanging out
just
a bunch
dance
of
now.
liquor.
Yeah.
We just watch.
Yeah.
Look, there's
Just a bunch of
1942, and there's
Yeah, y'all
There's
take a
Johnny
bottle when you
Walker
leave.
Blue,
I
dog.
don't know
You
how this
good.
conversation got to all this, but yeah,
Golly.
that was a pretty crazy experience.
That's wild.
That's just one little experience.
Damn. Some wild shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, crazy stuff goes on.
Now, what does the perfect future look like? Like, if you could paint a picture of how you want everything to lay out, what does that look like for you? Like, do you move on from island fights and you just oversee it from a distance and you just enjoy your life? Or do you like being in the hustle and bustle of everything?
I could not be involved with it, you know.
Yeah.
So like island fights, I've never missed an event ever, never will. You know, I think it will obviously be a thing where I think my brother Ryan will take over island fights and kind of oversee everything, but it'll still be something that I'll still be at and still attend everything. And that's not saying that that's happening anytime soon, but you know, if we end up with 24 dates next year for Icon, that's 2 events a month. You know, so if we end up with 12 game bred bare knuckle events, that's 1 event a month. And then obviously if we have as many events as we can have with island fights, but the goal is to have a
weekend.
That's the goal, is to have a fight every week, you know.
Yeah.
And I can't say that it's something that like we need that. We're all busy. We don't know what to do if there's not a fight. Like if there's not a fight on that weekend, we're like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I want to push some weight around at the gym, like
Move
Like,
some
play
weight.
basketball.
Yeah.
Let's go to intermissions. I don't know what else to do if we're not in town and there's like not a fight. So like just from that alone, like we know we need more. Like we can't operate with like 10 fights a year, 12 fights a year.
Yeah.
And that was like our thing with we're not on Fight Pass with Icon anymore. And it's not because they didn't want us back on Fight Pass. We did really, really, really good. And the brand is like super strong, but we can't do 7 events a year. Like we have to do way more than that. We can't sign fighters with 8 fights a year, you know? I can't even sign you under a multi-fight contract, because if I have 8 fights a year, that means if I sign if I sign 5 people in this room, every single one of my cards is going to have the same people on it every time.
Right.
You know, so like you can't even sign new talent without having dates, and you have to have a lot of them, you know. So like if we had 24 dates and we could pay people competitively to the other promotions, and we would be a major player in the gloved MMA promotion also. So I think like that's our goal. Our goal is, hey, how can we pay the same minimums, 10 and 10, even if we could pay the minimums at 5 and 5 for Icon, or 10 and 10, like, you know, that's what we need to do in order to be a major player in that business. It's easy to be the feeder system for the UFC, and I'm not saying that's a bad system. I love that even for island fights. Like that's what we always did, and I think you have to have that. The UFC needs it. The sport needs it. Like everybody needs that in order for like this thing to flourish. But as far as like the end goal for Icon and these other things, like if we can compete again, not necessarily compete, because we don't really compete with anybody. We kind of just do our thing. But you know, if we could pay people that type of money, you know, and they have an alternative route, then that would be like, that's when we made it for us, you know, like, okay, now you can go do this. Because if any fighter in the world, you're 4-0, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 4-fight win streak, whatever it may be, like, oh, these guys will sign me to a 4-fight deal and I'll start out at 10 and 10. Like, yeah, I'm going to do that, you know, like that's.
And you want to be that for people.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, because even game bred boxing and game bred bare knuckle, like our minimums on game bred bare knuckle are 5 and 5, you know, and if you have a few fights, it's 10 and 10.
Dude, I'd fight him for 2 and 2
For
right
sure.
now.
You know,
Lock that door. We'll throw it down.
Lock the door. I'll pay it right now.
I'm gonna win that fight.
Well, yeah.
Let's do some stipulations.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
You know,
what's up?
one
I can
hand
bring
each.
I can get the.
That's
Only get to use one hand.
Yeah, I'll bring the contracts out, though. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You need a contract. You just do it.
Yeah.
Turn the lights off. That'll be
Dude,
real.
that'd be a good fight.
Damn.
That's what we did. Oh, that's probably a really cool thing we didn't bring up, but we did this in South Florida. So me and Masvidal used to bet each other on anything, right? We'll be at the PFL. He'll be 20 feet away, and he's going to bet on, I think he bet on Magomedov, and I bet on Ray Cooper. Like $2,500, $3,000. I'll take Ray Cooper. Ray Cooper like gets dropped like 2 times in that fight, ends up knocking out Magomedov. So everyone's losing their mind in this building. So we would just bet on anything. So then one day we were with each other, and we're like, we're betting these people to grapple. We're betting people so someone would have the other person's back, like EBI overtime.
Yeah.
And overtime rules, and we would just bet on who's gonna escape first, like $2,000 a pop. And just gets to the point where I'm like, look, I'm gonna give you somebody. They can't be less than 150 pounds. And I'll get anybody I want. You get anybody you want. And at 8 p.m. tonight, we'll meet up at the gym for $10,000.
Damn.
That was one of our fight weeks, and this
So
is
to
happening.
grapple?
We're to grapple.
Okay.
And
What?
so he's like, "Oh, I got you beat. No problem, right?" So then he has no idea who I have. I have no idea who he has. My guy has no idea who he's grappling.
Yeah.
His guy has no idea who he's grappling. And we meet at this gym, undisclosed location at 8 o'clock at night. All this shit is filmed, and for $10,000. So we pay like the athletes like $1,500 or $2,000 each to do it, and it was the craziest shit ever. So we're just in this.
Are these known people?
One of them, so he shows up with the fucking Naga 2021 world champion, right? I'm like, fuck, I got a purple belt, 10th planet purple belt. But
Wild.
But it's like it was EBI rules, so you know he was gonna do well in that. And
Yeah.
my guy ended up winning. It was the craziest
Dude,
shit. But we're like, man, this is we're gonna call it blind fighting championships and do this like where no one knows who they're grappling against. And we
Damn,
thought
that's
it was the
really good idea.
it was the coolest idea because even the fans, like, imagine you have no idea
No
who's
clue.
gonna go against each
Yeah.
other.
Oh shit!
Hey, turn it up a little bit.
Wow.
So where was this held
Yeah,
at?
Masvidal was like super pissed.
Miami?
Super
This was
pissed.
where
South
Masvidal
Florida?
trains like at night.
Okay.
I
okay.
forget the.
Holy shit, dude!
BFC?
The idea of not knowing beforehand is
It was the
actually,
greatest
like,
grappling match
Yeah,
you'd
Oh,
ever seen.
I can imagine. Holy shit!
How long did it last?
It was 10 minutes and then they had overtime.
OT
Okay.
rounds.
So it didn't start in overtime.
No,
Okay. I got you. That's
it was
crazy.
nuts, and the time had already ran up, and the guy was in like the worst armbar ever, and the guy kept on going. The time everybody's like, "The time's up, you already won." And the guy's like trying to break his arm, fucked his arm up. Like,
Oh shit!
it was crazy, but everybody's running around
Holy shit!
like I got my guy, he's got his people. It's like turf wars. It was fucking nuts, man. And it was like it was a pretty exciting thing. But so that's like one of the ideas we have for. I probably shouldn't have said that because now someone's gonna try to steal our shit. But that was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I was like that for fighting too. Like you don't know who's fighting who.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're fighting. There's no tape. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of take the nerves out of it for people, and they would just hop in there and fight.
I think what would make that most exciting is like I hope that I go against somebody way better than me because if I get them,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a legend.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, I
you
feel
just
like
beat
that
the
would-
2021 Naga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you're a legend because
I
you
think
just
nerve-wise,
you had no
I
idea
think
who.
it would be. Yeah, I think
The whole-
nerves wise it would be like perfect.
Better.
You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
most people that take a fight on short notice, they like that.
Yeah,
A
because
lot
you
of
have
people
less
do.
time
Because
to
you don't have
think
time
about
to
it.
think about it. Yeah.
Because some
Yeah.
people like get in their
your
head a
head.
lot. You know, there are a lot of like behind the scenes like people that are get in their own head cases, whatever you want to call it, but they get in their own head. So it's just like, oh, a short notice fight. There's no pressure here. Like they
Yeah.
go in, they perform way better. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that was a really really cool experience, and the grappling match was awesome. Like it was
Yeah,
back
that's
and
tight.
forth. You know. And
You should incorporate that in your grappling endeavors in the future. Like I know you were talking about like, yo, we're thinking about getting in the grappling space like big time.
Well, it never came out, but we filmed the whole thing. from the start, from the earlier in the day to like they were filming the whole thing about me betting him. Like, all right, we'll bet $10,000. You go get anybody you want in this region, but they have to be at the gym at 8:00. Anybody.
Really?
So he's running outside. He's on his phone. Oh, I fucking got you, motherfucker. You just wait. There's no way. You know,
Dude,
so
you
he's
know
like
what's supposed to
talking
be a
shit.
video made of this whole thing?
Yeah, but I don't know where it went.
Out?
Like, where's the video?
Dude,
all this stuff was documented. It was
you know
badass.
what it, like adds a layer to this is like you're going twofold on the competition level because you're like taking. So like Dean goes against like he sees Hulk Hogan and he's like, yo, you get a guy. So there's a competition there. But then within that competition, you got the two competitors.
Actual competitors.
So it's like, who the fuck's Hulk Hogan know?
Right.
He knows everybody.
Yeah.
But you're gonna assume that Dean
like
probably knows the better fighters.
American Top Team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so it makes it like
I'm thinking
a
he's gonna go get this
twofold-
like Dagestani wrestler dude for sure.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, okay,
See, that's
a
another
10th
side,
Planet
too.
dude is probably
Get
gonna
that
win
leg.
See,
Yeah,
that's
Sure.
another side of it too. Is like you're thinking about what he knows and what you think he's gonna do, and so you're trying to like.
But he has
oh,
no
dude, that's
idea
sick.
who I'm thinking, you know.
Right.
But I'm trying to like base it off of who he's definitely getting. We thought he was getting Horiguchi like the whole time. That's who we thought. Like we were showing up, and that's who he was bringing for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Damn, dude.
it was
That's
just ended
tight.
up being it was.
this
such a
could literally
badass
be,
thing.
dude.
We have the
TV
videos.
show.
Like we should.
You,
probably
yeah,
put
you
that
should
out.
do this as a
100%.
reality TV show.
100%.
I
This
have-
is like
well,
Dean
somebody
finds a
recorded-
fight or something.
You do?
Dean
Dude,
it was
that's
such a
fucking-
cool event.
That's hard.
DFC
That's
or like dude, call it DTF.
DFC.
Down to
DTF.
fight, bro. That'd be a good fucking name for the show.
We owned a nutrition
That would be
company called
awesome.
DTF Nutrition.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah.
That's a good. Hey, recycle that
Yeah,
shit.
you still got the LLC, dude. Just
Yeah.
fucking figure it out.
Yeah, just rebrand that
Annual
shit.
annual report. We need to renew that.
Figure-
Yeah.
yeah, we knew that shit.
Gambling story with Chuck Liddell and AJ and all them in Ori, or not Ori, but
Oh yeah. So we're in like in the high limit room at this is after Food Masvidal fought Covington, and so we're all it's like me, Masvidal, AJ Ferrari, the wrestler you guys know,
Yeah.
and Chuck Liddell, some other like porn company dude. Anyway, so like we were all killing the blackjack table. Like everybody's up.
Big
Everybody has
blackjack-
to be up.
Big
Like
blackjack guy?
yeah.
You big black? Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Major. So we were like killing it, and I got everybody's up. Like even, I think AJ might have had like $3,500. I think Masvidal had like $7-8 grand. I don't know what Chuck Liddell, maybe 10 grand. I don't know. I had at least 7,500, 10 grand, whatever. And we're all getting up winners. We're all gonna go to this after party. Where was the after party at Zook or whatever?
we were gonna go get pizza.
Oh, we're already done with the after party. This is after the after party. Okay, so we're after the after party, and we're all cashing in our chips, and I just look over. Everybody's got this major shot. I'm like, man, fuck it. Let's just all go all in. And everybody's all hyped up, and everybody's like, fuck
Yeah,
it.
it's a great idea
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
table.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, fuck it, let's do it.
And then, and because everybody's in the greatest mood ever.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives
Everybody's
a shit
up.
that this fight just happened. Like, everybody's just having fun. We're about to go eat. And, every single person loses. And I'm just like,
What?
fuck.
I thought you were gonna say like you clean
No.
house.
Every person at the table loses. I'm just like trying not to make eye contact with Chuck. Like, you know,
Oh,
God.
shit.
damn,
bless.
this dude just lost
Was
a
this-
grip.
That's like
Was
a
this
$30,000 to
your idea to go
$40,000
in?
swing.
Was this your idea to go all in?
Oh, completely. Everybody was leaving. I was just like, look,
Fuck.
let's just all go all in. Fuck it. Like, what are we
Damn,
doing?
dog?
And
That one cuts deep, dude.
yeah, because me, I don't give a shit. But I just felt bad because other people, I don't know how they feel about
Yeah.
losing money. Like I'm used to losing money. So it's part of my life.
Man.
That's literally life-changing money.
That's fucking wild,
Yeah.
bro.
So yeah, everybody, and you could just see some of their faces. Like I could tell AJ was like, "Fuck."
Huh?
So we didn't go eat afterwards.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, pizza was on you, jackass.
Yeah, there was no
We're outta
winning
here.
pizza involved, dog.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
That's
Is that-
It's crazy because at first no one had cash on them. Like Masvidal just fought. I'm sitting down at this other table and playing, and then Masvidal like walks up, and he's like, hey, we're gonna play in here. Give me some. You got some cash on you or whatever. So I give him some cash to play, and because he would have had to go to his hotel room. I mean, no one's just carrying around like a bunch of cash to go to the high limit room. So he got some cash from me. Goes in there. So then he's already playing. So then I walk in there, and then I get cash from somebody because my cash is at our hotel. I don't even know where were we staying at. And then so we weren't staying at Resort World. So then my friend gives me cash, and like a minute into it, I had already gave my friend back their money. I think I just went all in like 3 or 4 times. And we were just up. Everybody's up. We're all like screaming, yelling. Everybody's like, all right, we're done. And then I'm like, we're all walking away. I'm like, oh, man, fuck it.
Might
Let's
as
just
well,
go all
right?
in.
Oh, man.
And then like the look on everyone's faces, it would just change the whole entire mood.
Yeah, that's tough.
Which really, that money's just like a drop in the bucket to these people. You know?
Yeah, well, AJ's like a coming up wrestler, so I don't know.
Yeah, but he's got a future in the money.
Oh, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
He's
So,
gonna
like,
be a
it might hurt right this second, but-
multi-gazillionaire. That guy is going to be... Whatever he does, he'll be like super, super, super successful. So
Yeah.
So, rolling around with Masvidal, do you find yourself ever in a situation where people are just trying to fuck with him? Or is it because he's such a legend of the sport in that realm?
Like, disrespect him or like...
like trying to pick...
Never.
See, that's what I
Never
would
in a
feel
million
like. They
years.
wouldn't, right?
No, and he's like the nicest human being to everybody on earth. He takes pictures with everybody. He's never been rude to anybody ever. You know, there's other people that may have been rude like for him in certain situations, maybe at a restaurant or something, but like if he's eating with his kids or something like that.
But that's tough.
Yeah.
It's like people need to just kind of
understand that that's
coming from 2 celebrities ourselves. Like we get that a lot,
We
and I'm like, dude, it's like
understand.
kind of respect.
People come up-
Cece's
It's
Pizza
like,
should
dude.
lock the doors when we come in.
Yeah, dude. I'm at
You
Red
see what I'm
Lobster.
saying?
I'm on these Cheddar Bay biscuits. Dude, give me a second.
See, he's on a higher pay scale than I
Best
am.
business
Bro,
ever.
like, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how that is, but he's always been like so nice to everybody. Anytime we're anywhere, he's nothing. He's just like the nicest person to everybody. You know, I think that's why people always loved Masvidal coming up. Like he was, you know. And then he got a little bit of hate like in the latter end of his career, but that happens when you become like a superstar. You got people that hate you and people that love you, and that's when you become like major. You know, people just love you, you're a star. But when people love you and not like you, you're a superstar. So, but he's always been genuine, authentic. Like he's just normal dude. Like if he's famous or not, you know, you disrespect him, he's gonna punch you in your face. So like that doesn't matter. So he's just a normal, real dude. Great dude.
So to transition a little bit from fighting onto another amazing accomplishment, your father. And how many kids do you have?
3.
3. They're all girls?
No, I have a 5-year-old son,
Okay.
Rylan, and then I have Gabby and Bella. Gabby's about to enter Catholic high school next year.
Which one plays basketball? Or
Both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
But
I see you posting at games.
Yeah. So they both play now, and then but she plays volleyball and basketball.
Okay.
And then my other daughter just started playing basketball, and she also does cheerleading.
So they play, is it just because they want to play sports, or do they have like a passion, like they want to do this for a living
I've
kind of
never
thing?
asked them in my life to play
Really?
basketball. It's kind of like they go to like Redeemer, and I think she started because they didn't have enough people to play at first, and she just ended up like really liking it.
Yeah.
And then her best friend Camille, they do everything together, so they both play volleyball. She's actually like really good at volleyball.
Word.
So, and she's like super tall, like psychotically tall. So
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's it.
And does the boy have any inclination to any sport yet, or is there any like gravity to like what he watches?
He
as far
plays
as, like,
baseball. He plays he just played t-ball, and like his first, like all the kids walk out and like introduce themselves. He's only 5, and they like everybody walks up and says, "My name is Jimmy, and I like Mortal Kombat," or "My name is Jimmy, and I like playing Roadblocks," whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, "My name is Rylan, and I like boxing." And some kids like, "What?" He's like, "Boxing, bro." And then he goes and sits down. I'm like,
Boxing, bro.
yeah, that's him. He's hilarious. But
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, do you find the time, like I see you make it to games all the time, is there like anything you wish you could be more a part of that you maybe don't get to be just because of things being so busy right now?
Yeah, I mean everything, all of it, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of a, you know, during the school year, it's tough to like get them during like the school week because
Yeah.
we like live on opposite sides of town. So it's kind of like, you know, I used to have them every other day, and it just became like not easy on the kids. So
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's
For
tough.
sure.
You need to get a jet sponsored by a company.
yeah,
So where you don't got to pay nothing for it. They just see Dean flying away and like Skull.
look, if someone gave me 70 million tomorrow,
Yeah.
I take the 70 million and I buy a jet.
Yeah.
Don't care if I have $1 left over.
That'd be fucking
First thing
dope.
I'm buying.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, because I mean,
$0.
fuck, you guys travel so damn much. It would make
Yeah.
sense just to, you know.
Well, it kind of
It's a
sucks
lot.
too, because like we have to drive to a lot of these places, kind of because we have to. We have so much shit we have to take with us, and it's like, I don't know. We all just kind of gotten used to it lately. We
Yeah.
drove to Milwaukee. Well, I didn't drive to Milwaukee, but I drove home from Milwaukee with everybody,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's been fun. Like it's hilarious. Like our little crew of people, you know, Levi, Ian, Nick, AC. Mike, Devin, Kyle. It's a pretty, you know, Dave Van Auken.
Yeah.
We got a
Shout out
pretty-
Fight
When y'all
the
get
Name.
a
Pretty
when y'all
cool
get a fucking
squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get a crew together, man, even like a a road trip, even though it can be shitty sometimes driving for so long, it's like
bro.
sometimes that shit can be hilarious.
It's
you know
the
what I mean?
biggest. People, I don't even know why, but it's like a major stress reliever for me. I have no idea why.
Oh, look, road trips
trips?
themselves? The drive?
Yeah.
Do you drive or you ride?
I don't. Yeah, I ride.
My
I
son
ride for
laughing.
sure.
Dude,
don't
I
ever drive.
can't.
Oh shit!
Dude, I can't ride for shit.
I'm surprised I drove here, but nah, definitely ride.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's
What
He
about it is
he
a
said
stress-
you ride, so does that mean he drives?
no. AC likes to drive. Kyle
Okay.
drives. Sometimes we'll take turns. Everybody will drive like 2 hours. I drove 2 hours last time, I think, or an hour.
He's like, I actually got to piss.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to
So,
ride?
damn, that's crazy.
No, I think I did. I
That's
did about 2
crazy.
hours or an hour and a half.
Yeah. What about it
Yeah.
is a stress reliever for you though? About
I don't know.
Like the,
Leaving Pensacola is a stress reliever for
gotcha,
everybody.
Gotcha.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but especially last year. Just I guess like I don't know, just getting out of town. Is
That's one thing
fun.
that we like
Get a lot of
try to do a
stuff done.
lot of. That's what we
Yeah.
try to do a lot. Is like we'll set, every couple months we'll have like something planned, whether it's like
Yeah.
a show or a game.
Like
or
you
whatever
just
it
announced
is.
something. We're about to announce something. We're going to LSU Alabama football
Alabama.
game.
Nice.
Big news in our world.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's big
You
shit.
know?
But like we try to do something like that every couple months because even though it's like, it's a couple hours away or something,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But like to get a day or a couple days where we can just go and not have to like fucking, do normal
It's
day-to-day
nice.
shit. It's nice to like, and I'll be honest, the road trips there and back are usually pretty entertaining.
They're dumb as
You know what I mean?
shit.
Yeah, they're
For
so stupid.
Sure, dude.
But it's a good time. It's always a, kind of that relaxing time where you don't have to worry about a bunch of shit.
Well, when we're
you know?
done with an event, like we're so like relieved.
Yeah.
Like that's when we kind of
Can fucking,
let our hair down or like just relax. Like we don't care. We don't have to be home on Saturday. We don't have to be home on Sunday. We
Yeah.
kind of pick and choose whenever we want to go home, wherever we want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
If we're on a pretty strict diet at that point, we're like, yeah, fuck the diet. We're gonna
Let
definitely
it
eat at
ride.
this place. Eat
Yeah.
18
Yeah, diet starts
pizzas.
Monday.
yeah.
18 pizzas and have 47 Italian beers. I don't know. It's just it's fun. It's fun. We got a cool crew. It's cool being out of town. It's cool being busy, and that's what I like. I
Yeah.
like being busy. I like having stuff going on, and regardless, at the end of all this, if my kids don't ever have to do anything or become an entrepreneur or figure out something they got to do to make income, like if I can prevent them from having to do that, as dumb as that sounds, like every
Yeah.
millionaire or billionaire is like, oh, my kids are gonna get a job and all. Like, hell no. Like, I won't make enough money, my kids don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a completely different outlook because this has been like a grind since I've had a job since I was 15 years old. So it's like, you work for yourself and you put in the amount of time and effort. We're at the office on Sundays. We're at the office on Saturdays. We're at the office sometimes at midnight, 1 a.m. Like, no one in the world on earth sees that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want my kids to do that, you know? Like, I don't want them to have to worry about that. And you could call it spoiled or whatever, but, like, I'm doing this so they don't got to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I don't wish this on anybody, you know? There's been, like, a lot of friendships, love life, everything in the world that gets, you know, screwed over because of my vision or passion about business or being an entrepreneur or doing this. Like, you know, I put everything else on the back burner to try and make it so that, you know, eventually my kids don't have to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a number or a thing that you're trying to get to where you can solidify that for them? Where you're like, yo, this is where I feel like once I get past that, it's all free. It's all fun. It's all like everything from then on is just like literally no pressure.
I don't think we're getting close to like those points now.
Really?
You know, like to the point where, you know, soon I know that they'll be able to enjoy whatever they got to do in life and do anything they want to do. Like if they want to do anything, want to open up an ice cream shop or a boutique or just do anything, like they can do it. It doesn't matter if the business makes any money. Just like anything you want to do that just because you like doing it, that the business will end up being successful because that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's something you want to do, like if they can do that, I'd be happy with it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, or they
That's
can become a
awesome, dude.
lawyer or something to do with the business.
Yeah, you want to help us out? Yeah, hang out around
Got a
us. You see
whole
what we're
bunch
doing.
of fighters
here.
that'll need some attorneys, you know.
Yeah.
Has there been a moment, this is probably like my last real big question, because I feel like there's got to be a moment where you're doing this and have been for so long where there's like a moment where you sit back and you're like, damn, I really fucking did this. Like I've made it from selling t-shirts to where I'm at now.
Or did
Like
you
I
have a
never
moment?
imagined
Yeah.
me to get this far, but you're just like, damn,
Like,
I'm really
aha.
doing this.
Yeah.
Like you feel accomplished, like you've made it.
I think like after all the events, like you feel like accomplished.
Just every single
Never like
one.
while you're doing it, like, oh wow, this is cool. But then like every now and again, like me and Nick will be in a car or something. I'll be like, man, that was pretty fucking.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool. you
Yeah.
know? Like I'm sitting in the middle of Jacare and Vitor Belfort, like the most intense like thing ever, and like you don't think about it until like a week later. Like, wow,
Right.
that was pretty crazy. Or Jose Aldo and Stevens.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll have this picture for the rest of my life standing between these people. Like, you know, that type of stuff. I don't think I ever take it in or enjoy it or whatever. But I definitely don't. I don't say, oh wow, we made it, because I can't ever in my life like be content with that. Like I need to have a bigger fight than Roy Jones Jr. and Anthony Pettis. You know, and if there's a bigger fight than that, then I need to have a bigger fight than that. And like that's how I have to look at it. That's how I always look at it. Like whatever fight we have to do something bigger than that, and better than that. We always have to keep improving, whether it's back of the house, front of the house, anything we have going on, we have to do it better than next time and bigger than next time. And like as long as we're doing that, like I'll never be content with it. And I think the day that you get content or say that you made it is like when you're probably gonna hang it up and not do it anymore. But I don't ever.
Yeah.
Like people are in the fight. Look at Don King. Like he's what 99 years old.
Good grief.
Like,
But he
I'm-
looks like a
fuck is
ghost
he
up there right
doing,
now.
bro?
Yeah, but I'm gonna
Adrian
do,
Broner's still
Lord,
standing there
bro.
with him.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Like that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be doing that until I'm 99 years old because
Yeah.
that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Like, I've told everybody like if someone gave me $10 billion, like I would still promote fights because that's what I want to do. I don't give a fuck if I make money, lose money. Like it doesn't matter. Like this is what I want to do. I love it. Like I love watching fights. Period. You know, and that's like even when I'm ringside or cage side, whatever. I want to watch the fights. Sometimes people will walk up to you and ask you like questions like oh, like Devin. You know, forgot to even mention Devin Cushion, but he's probably one of my favorite people to ever watch fights. I've been watching Devin compete since he was 8 years old. You know, so like that's like probably nobody I like watching more than Devin, and you know just watching like him fight and somebody will come sit next to me and ask me a question about something.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like I
hey,
can't
dude,
have this conversation.
what's-
right now.
yeah.
That's why we put the headset on. Sometimes it's not even working.
and
And then like so
You're
I
like,
gave it to
word.
I gave it to Masvidal last. Oh shit! I gave it to Masvidal last event. He's like, he's like, I can't hear anything. I'm like, yeah, it's not for that. It's like, watch, no one's gonna like ask you for nothing right now. No one's gonna ask for a picture. No one's gonna ask for anything right now because you got this headset on, and it's just cool. You got the best seat in the house to watch the fights, and then when you match a card, and then to like get to see who wins the fights after something you worked on for 10, 12 weeks before, like that's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Well, you do it bigger and better than, I mean, anybody I've ever seen do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm from here, born and raised, so, like, you're all I've ever known as far as, like, local MMA goes. And, dude, we couldn't be more excited for you to be representing the area.
Yeah, dude.
For real.
That.
And, dude, it's huge to have you on the couch finally.
Yeah, my bad, man.
You're fine. We were just trying to get you before. You were trying to be Guess 100.
Yeah.
We slipped on that by about 100, but
yeah,
fucking
100 podcasts later.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. At the end of the day, we made it happen.
Yeah, dude. We're glad that we could.
No, yeah, I seen this guy out one day. Like, told him a lot of the reasons why I was kind of waiting, but
man.
Some things happen in people's lives, and now I'm good.
And we completely get it. So
yeah.
But we appreciate the fuck out of you for coming and hanging out with us.
For sure.
Real,
Is there
and just to let people like that Island Fights is about to like really, really, really blow up again, and it's for people that locally are fight fans and enjoy what we got going on, like we're like really gonna put maximum effort into it, for a few years I haven't even ran an ad for Island Fights. Like we just put the event on. I maybe make one announcement with a poster and that's it. I don't try to sell a table. I don't try to do anything. Like we just put on the events. But like we're about to start putting a bunch of effort back into it and
but it shows too, even with the last couple of years, like you're talking about, you know how deep the community is in it and how much the people love it. That you can still have the turnouts that you do. You know what I mean? Like just that in itself is a huge deal, and I think it goes to show how much it means for the community and how much people do enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like,
and people used to always say, "Oh, well, no one even knows there's an event." I'm like, "Yeah, well, that means there's room for growth."
Yeah, I mean,
that means like if I did start advertising it like that, that means like everybody will know about it, and I haven't burnt it out yet. And if I haven't done that, and I could start doing this or start running ads and all these different things that we used to do back in the day, like that means there's a ton of growth. And once we start doing our pro shows again, like the fights that I can be putting on at the Bay Center, like just amazing events. People like Devin Cushing get to fight back at home. Cade, Dakota Merritt may or may not be like making his return. Just a lot of people, I'm sure Heath Herndon's gonna make his pro debut soon. Cam Bennett will end up making his pro debut. Josh, a ton of people that are just coming up that have been fighting for a while on our amateur scene that are eventually going to be big stars. Like these guys are all going to go probably to the UFC or whatever promotion they choose to go to. So we're excited about that, excited about continuing to like be a vehicle to take these people to the next level, not only from Island Fights Pro to the UFC, but like an amateur athlete who's maybe started out in a jiu-jitsu gym or started out whatever that's got convinced to take an amateur fight who ends up turning professional and like making an income that's a career. It's different. We all grew up. He went to Pine Forest, he went to whatever school he went to in the woods and shit, and then but everybody played basketball, football, baseball, and maybe some people played soccer, right? And like that was your thing. Like, what's the option, or how hard is that to make it? Right?
Golf's crazy hard. I've never hit a ball.
Like, how many Major League Baseball players do you know in the last 10-year span of when you were in high school?
I don't even know a baseball player ever.
Right?
I don't know a single one.
Hank Williams Jr.?
There's a lot more NFL players now.
He did this thing?
Yes.
That's
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
He said Hank Williams Jr. That ain't it. Is that Dwight Yoakam out yonder? Hear that over here.
Oh, we have Josh Donaldson. We have
There's a couple baseball players.
Addison Russell hit the Grand Slam World Series, Chicago Cubs. I'm just saying it's super, super small amount of things. So like now, if you're a parent and you could take your kid and enter them into jiu-jitsu classes or wrestling classes, or you go to Remedy or the Academy or any of these local gyms, Tony Baker, any of these places, and you just go train. You know, now like there's another option where you could potentially have a career and make money doing something that you enjoy doing, right? And that's fighting, whether it's boxing or MMA. That's like the coolest part of anything that we do is you get to do that. You know, like we have a fifth option. You know, you can't just try to make it in baseball, football, basketball. Now you can become professional in mixed martial arts or boxing and actually earn a paycheck. You know, and that's the coolest thing about anything I could ever say in the entire world about anything we've done is that's what we've changed in this community is now there's another option to create income for somebody and have a career.
I mean, it's amazing.
Awesome,
to be able to grow something from the ground up. It's like this podcast is small, but like to know that we did it from it not being anything at all feels really cool to know.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine what it feels like to be on the level or the heights that you've been to. Like we'll just have a cool guest every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's just like Fight Bananas. Like I started Fight Bananas, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. We had David in the chair. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah. And like
we're actually big timers.
You know, for Dave Van Auken, like it's kind of like, look, this is not like a short term play. It's gonna be a while, but it's just something you have to consistently do. Like you're gonna one day you might have one podcast that blows, right? It just fucking takes off. It's all you need one time, right? And then you just consistently do it, and then it doesn't matter. It's in any type of business. As long as you consistently do it, it does not matter. You have a library now of all your podcasts. You have your own content. Eventually, content's going to be worth more than anything in the world, right? And you own it. I don't know. I think there's, you know,
And
I was just telling him, I love y'all's podcast. I think it's
really?
cool. I think it could be something pretty big, you know.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if you guys are like pushing it with sponsored ads or anything like that.
I mean, at the very end, we do sponsor reads. Like, it doesn't look like a lot, but it gets the job
That's
done.
our
No, not saying that.
our
Like,
board.
if you guys are pushing it, like, are you guys like sharing it and
Oh,
boosting?
you mean
Oh,
like
yeah.
sponsorship,
like sponsored
on
ads,
on
like
social
like
media
so
and
more
stuff?
people see it.
I don't.
You know, just saying. There's
Like we haven't dived back into that yet.
well, the cool thing is once it doesn't matter if it's 3 years from now and everybody loves your podcast, they're gonna go back and watch all of them.
Yeah, I mean
so
that's
true.
that's one thing that we think about a lot too. Is like, I mean, sitting here and we were sitting in here 15, 20 minutes before you got here and just thinking about like we've done 200 episodes of this podcast.
Of
You
the
know,
numbered
there's-
ones, yeah.
There's, I mean, of the numbered ones, but there's over 300 hours
Hey, thank
of
you.
content that we have
My man.
of just us with guests and all different kinds of
Yeah.
shit. And it's just like, dude, that is insane that we've gotten from. I mean, it started in the kitchen, you know what I mean, into something that we actually have
No
built.
camera with those
Yeah.
shitty mics you don't even see.
Yeah.
Like,
But when there's a point when this is something, bigger than what it is, it's like there's gonna be so much that people can look back at and be like,
and the
"Holy
growth
shit,"
within that and the videos, like you just see.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
Dave too. It's a perfect
Yeah.
example, right? Dave never even commentated a fight before.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but like he started somewhere, right? And that's like this dude just hosted the press conference for Game Bred Bare Knuckle
Yeah.
in Miami, and he was commentating Game Bred Boxing when Frank Gore like had the biggest, most viral KO ever. He commented that his first ever show on UFC Fight Pass that on one of the Game Bred Boxing shows, and it wasn't saying that was always his goal to be a commentator. You know,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
definitely like going to be a face in the media world, but this dude does not stop. He does it from morning to night. Go to Facebook, Fight Bananas on Facebook, on anything, and you could literally get any news you want because this dude is hustling, bust, and he has a full-time job, and he's a dad of 4 kids.
Yeah.
No one in the world could say, "Oh, I don't have time to do anything." If this
Yeah.
dude has time to do it,
Yeah.
this dude does all of it and has somebody, even if he can't make the event, he has someone at the event like covering that event for him. Like, this dude is one of the greatest people I've ever met, one of the hardest workers I've ever met, and like Fight Bananas would have been dead without Dave Van Auken. So like, it's people like him. Like, if I were you guys, I would just be like, damn, like, look, he started right there. Like, I can do this. All you have to do is just keep doing this. Doesn't matter if 200 people watch it, 2,000 people watch it, 2 million people watch it. Eventually, they will if you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just
That's what
be
we're doing,
consistent, keep doing what you're doing, and
We
you love doing
appreciate
it.
that.
So fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love this idiot. You know?
Yeah, this dude sucks, but I love him. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
mean,
like-
unless y'all end up hating each other or something, which
Yeah, but I think that also plays into like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
love doing it together
Yeah.
because we hate each other a little
yeah,
bit.
Right.
That's
You know?
that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't love him if I didn't hate him.
Like if you
gotta
publicly
be
hate each
some
other
hate
and like
in it.
really hate each
Yeah.
other, but also love each other,
Mm.
like it's gonna be.
hey, you want to
And
see
then
a
you guys
little-
are still in each other's lives.
Hey.
That's a relationship
Yeah.
that's gonna work.
since
forever.
we met, can't get rid of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, like I met him, he
Hated the fucking dude. We
I am-
hated each
well,
other.
this is the thing. So I didn't know the guy. I started working at this place and I was a manager. Immediately was his boss.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Hated
he walked
that.
in, hated his
Hated
face,
that.
everything about him. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
boy for sure.
Saw
Hated
this
him.
dude with the fucking dude. You got a diamond on your neck, bro.
You see,
Fuck
we're
you.
ready to just rip each other
I was
apart.
just like, this dude sucks.
Pull your tongue
you
out.
know? Hey, dude.
Dude, your tongue sucks, dude.
Brother.
Show him your tongue.
Wait,
That's his whole tongue.
wait, stop.
That's his whole tongue, dude. That's his whole tongue. You're not seeing it.
No, it's not.
You don't need glasses. That's his whole tongue. He
No,
has a
is
medically
it
small
really?
tongue.
Are you serious?
It's a
I'm
problem.
Did
like
you
I-
bite it off or something?
I'm tongue tied.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Did you bite it
It
off?
goes. Hey, man. No, the thing on the bottom of your tongue that like connects to the it goes all the way to the tip of my tongue. So when I stick my tongue out like that, it's going in between my teeth.
Oh, why don't they cut it?
They
Yeah,
can, but it's it's like a whole
Does it
thing.
mess up your speech at all?
Yeah, you can't talk for like a while. You mean like this right now?
Yeah. Do you
If
have
I
any
talk
issues?
fast,
He'd probably talk
I
like
get-
me.
if I talk fast, I get
Can't have
all
two of
kinds
us.
fucked
Like,
up.
do you gleek a lot on accident?
I'm not a gleeker. I'm not. Never been a gleeker.
Probably doesn't even come that high, right?
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
can't. No,
You probably gleek on your front bottom teeth a lot.
it's
You
all
don't
right.
notice
Yeah, we
it.
just don't know it.
You ever drool
We
a
just
little
keep that
bit
shit in
because you're
there.
gleeking?
Not a big drooler
Dude,
either.
Buddy used to chew, like, just eat food, and it'd be like, clock, 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 clock.
yeah, that shit
His
still
jaw,
does
he has
that.
lockjaw or something.
I
His shit would just be like, seriously, it would
I
sound
got
like this,
TMJ.
eating.
Yeah, I got TMJ. Listen, dude, there's all kinds
His
of weird
whole
shit going
face
on
is
here,
fucked up.
dude.
You see how the lower half is way smaller than the top half of his face?
Listen, dog.
It's a whole big deal. And I got
We'll
way
get
too
into
big
it.
a head.
We'll
Like,
get
we
in-
all got
yeah.
problems
I
here.
mean, look, I didn't notice
listen.
any of this, but now I'm
Yeah.
noticing it.
Yeah, now you're gonna look at
Hey,
it.
fucking,
Yeah.
I look
Now
at this
you're
face
gonna
way too much.
look. Yeah.
I see a lot of things I don't like.
Yeah.
What
Known
else?
each other
you
for
know?
a long time.
Yeah.
What
Known
else?
each other for a long time.
Anything you don't like about him?
His teeth. His
Yeah,
teeth
dude, I
piss
hate
me
it
off.
too. Hey,
Look how big. Look at that gap.
what's
Get
going on
the
here?
fuck out of here.
These
dude.
act like
It's
divorced
fixable.
children.
That
Like
sucks.
they
fixable.
still love their parents, but they cannot hang out with
His-
each other.
His eyebrows and eyes to me
Yeah.
look like a cat. He just looks like a cat to me,
No.
and that
Wow.
makes me really angry because I'm not a big cat guy.
One of the first things he asked me was, "Am I Asian?" I've never been Asian in my life. My DNA
asking,
report
dude.
says nothing about
I'm just
Asians.
asking. I don't know.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
added up when I asked it. It made sense in my head.
Dude.
So I thought I should
I'm
ask.
0.02% African. Maybe that's it.
That's definitely not it.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not it.
But I'm not
For
Asian
sure
at
not
all.
it.
Not
Yeah.
even
No, we need to
1%.
get that checked again.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
He's from the Republic of No.
Yeah.
He's from the Republic of No. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I also hate that he doesn't do a clean fade on his hair. He has this like stiff ass straight hairline on the back. He doesn't do a fade like how your hair is faded.
So he's
proper.
just like, give me a 3 guard all the way around.
Yeah, he doesn't understand
Yeah.
like he
Let me
does
get
this
that regular
wispy shit in
haircut.
the back.
I
It's
just
got a
have
weird.
regular shit, dog.
Just walks
Turn
in
your
and
head
That's
around.
says,
vanilla. I
"Let me
just
get
want
a-
that vanilla shit,
walks
dog.
in and
Give me
says,
that
"Let me
nice
get a
regular
vanilla
haircut."
shit.
Yeah, turn your head around.
Brothers, my
Sports
Roasted.
That's the name of
Damn.
it.
Yeah, dude.
Damn, dog.
I told him I'd pay for a haircut. He just doesn't want to go for it. He says he knows the guy, so he sweeps up the hair. I'm like, that's no excuse for the haircut.
Bro, I get a free haircut, man.
See what I'm saying?
It's
That's
sick.
his defense every
Free
time.
haircut, man.
Yeah, man, you don't ever want to get a free haircut, dude. You gotta pay for the haircut.
This is what a paid haircut looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Shout out
I
Travis,
respect
White's
it.
Barbershop.
Yeah. Dude, I know Travis. I went to White's forever. I used to get my hair cut by Laura. She was on the other side, the little room with the 3 chairs, not the big
yeah.
room. She was always the very corner one. Don't go there anymore.
See, when I was growing up, that's where Travis was.
Yeah, I know
It's
Travis.
Travis, Brian, Justin. And they were always in that room for years. Then they all moved over to the big side, I guess. They just needed a
Originally,
change.
Laura was that first chair right before you get into the other room. But,
Yeah.
like, as I became, like, an adult, she eventually was in that room. And then it was just, like, all girls there for a minute. And then Wayne started cutting my hair, and now I'm with Wayne. But Wayne, like, this Asian guy that moved around, he's funny. He's a good haircut. But he's one of the dudes where he'll be cutting your hair, and if you start talking to him, he stops to talk. So now I can't have conversations with him.
Yeah, because you're like,
I don't need a
you gotta
$5
do this
haircut.
and
Yeah. It's
and
like
cut
it's
my
like
hair.
yeah, you can talk to me. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
worst. They just stop the Clippers and
It's fucking. It's
start
difficult.
making hand gestures.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's tough. But yeah, I love this guy. I like again. We couldn't be more thankful that you came on for 200.
Yeah.
You know.
Big
Number
shit,
200.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to announce before we get out of here? Because we're about to do our announcements.
I believe we announced too much.
Yeah.
No,
Levi gonna take a fight anytime soon?
Fabricio Verdum, Junior Dos Santos, September 2nd.
Dude, that's the day after my birthday, bro. Where's that gonna be?
The Hard Rock in Hollywood.
Dude, hey, look, just big idea, guys.
Guitar
Hey,
Hotel.
hey, big idea, guys
Hey.
here. And I just want to throw a guest out that you should have, like, front row. You know who Hard Rock Nick is?
Oh, brother.
Hard Rock Nick.
You don't know who Hard Rock Nick is?
I don't.
Dude, big deal. Yeah.
Pull that up real
That's-
quick.
Hard Rock Nick.
Buddy is
he's
the living epitome of what you think
He's-
when I say Hard Rock Nick.
he's running for president.
He is a ladies' man. Slays everything you can even
He's
imagine.
a billionaire. It's
He
insane.
dripped out heavier than you can think.
Hard Rock Nick.
The
Hard
Prince
Rock
of
Nick.
Florida.
You've never seen
That's
this
like-
man?
The worst.
He's the
Dude.
worst.
I mean, he is the number one guy. He's got to be front row. Have him announce the fights. Ring announcer. I know you got. I cannot think of the guy's name. The dude that
Lupe.
he is amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
A
Lupe
crazy
Contreras.
voice. At least have him in the
This
ring.
is what-
like
this-
do the card around the main event.
This is Hard Rock Nick's bio
You know what
on
I'm saying?
Instagram. It's the Prince of Florida, retired billionaire, face of cryptocurrency, Forbes top 100 of 2023, $10.7 billion net worth.
Okay, so
Wow.
how do you
Yeah.
not have him there? You know,
Yeah.
you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we need that
Crazy
sponsor.
shit. Yeah,
Reach
Hard Rock
out.
Nick,
Maybe
dude.
he'll give it to you in his Toyota Tundra. Because he that's what he drives
Yeah, that's his whip.
for a
He drives a
billionaire.
Tundra
For a
10.7 billion.
Yeah, yeah. He's a humble brag, but
You could buy everyone in Florida.
a Tundra.
5 Tundras.
Yeah. It's
You
crazy.
could probably everyone
And
in the
World
United
Hunger,
States,
probably.
Yeah, you could. You could buy how many? How many people live in the United States?
What is it, like 350 million? That was just a wild guess. I don't know.
3 billion. So you could definitely
3 billion
buy
in
everyone.
America? I think
No.
no, because China's like
No.
3 billion.
No.
We're not more than China.
13 billion in the world, right?
I love this
No.
kind of math. Let's go. Because isn't California have like
Nick's a stat
36
guy.
million?
Big stat
He's good
guy,
on
huh?
the stats.
36 million? No.
See, I thought it was like 350 million for all of America.
In the USA.
That's probably it.
331 million is what I'm getting.
Damn,
That's
see,
2021.
boy's not that far off.
So 10.7 billion.
Yeah,
Just do the math. Like that dude could.
everybody could get like 11 and a half Tundras.
That's
He could give everyone in the United States how much money?
A million,
Let's see, 10.
oh, several million.
10
Yeah.
point.
I don't know
How
math.
many Bs?
I had the math on the first end.
10,000.
I can't double down on the math.
8 billion in the world.
8 billion in the world. China's got 3 of them, at least.
India's got
people?
a ton. I'm
3
sure.
billion.
Oh yeah, 3 billion. Yeah.
India's got a ton.
Yeah, India's got at least like another 3, and the rest are just kind of scattered.
Mhm.
We got
We got quite a few over here.
a quarter of the quarter.
360.
360.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But so that's September 2nd.
Saturday, September 2nd, Labor Day weekend,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fort Lauderdale.
He likes South Miami or North Miami.
You,
That would be
you know what I'm talking
a
about? The
dope trip.
Guitar Hotel?
Yeah, yeah.
Hard Rock, yeah.
Beautiful.
Dude,
That's where
that would
PFL
be
did like their.
Dave did a set of interviews with what was the old girl that fought for the title?
Kayla Harrison. Oh, wait.
No,
Which.
in the UFC. She was making like a mad run, and she retired now.
Amanda Nunez?
No, she was doing stuff
Joanna?
with Dave for a while. No, white girl, kind of short,
Oh.
Wait, for
brown
what
curly
company?
hair. UFC.
Macy. No, he's
No.
not.
She went on a title run?
We're saying every girl's name
He's
ever.
retired.
She has like a good. I
That was good. That was
A
good.
good what?
That was good.
You know,
Yeah, that was good. Go
Fuck,
ahead.
what is her name? She fought for the title.
Yeah, she did.
She lost by armbar, right?
She was like one of the first ones to be with Dave.
Yeah, like they did like a walk around the water by the big guitar. Cool, we're ruining the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
She fought for a title.
Yes. God damn.
In the UFC.
In the UFC.
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but
What weight division? Who'd she fight?
I think she fought Cyborg, right? Lost to Cyborg for the UFC title.
just Google it.
Let's see,
Just Google
Cyborg
it.
UFC.
Because we could sit here and do this for 20 minutes.
Dude,
and still not figure it out.
I can't leave now without saying her name.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like a
You're gonna be
fucking
pissed.
idiot.
I mean, I would know. That's just weird.
God damn,
Tisha
where's
Torres?
the record?
No.
No.
Definitely
It was
not. He did not definitely have any interviews.
Felicia
with Mackenzie
Spencer. Fucking
Oh,
UFC
yeah.
240.
Dern. Oh yeah.
But she did like a bunch of stuff
Yeah,
with David
yeah,
at
yeah.
that place.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
At
that's
the guitar?
fucking dope.
She fought 145.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That took
Yeah,
way too
Felicia's
long to get
awesome.
to. Our apologies,
the jungle,
Felicia.
The Jungle MMA,
Yeah.
Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, and that was like right after she lost to Amanda. So Felicia was just getting every bit of that rage. All right. Well,
Oh.
we're going to get out of here on that note. Before we do, we're going to shout out some sponsors of ourselves.
Yep.
So if you're in Pensacola, Florida, and you want to train some 10th Planet-esque jiu-jitsu, Kazushi Club Pensacola is run by Derek Overby. And you might know him according to Little Guy Jits off of Instagram. Him and his brother Casey Overby run that. And it's like a good technique page if you're trying to see what techniques work against bigger opponents if you are a smaller opponent. You also don't even have to be that at all. You could just be a good regular sized person.
You could just be, yeah.
But like this technique works really well against larger opponents. That's Little Guy Jits on Instagram. But Derek runs Kazushi Club Pensacola. They have classes Monday through Thursday at night. Friday, it's only morning classes, and then there's open mat on Saturday. There's no class on Sundays. But they also do Tuesday nights. They have a judo/wrestling class at the beginning with Dakota. I can never remember Dakota's last name. Do you know? I just know it's like Crow Magnum.
Or not Barlow.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Is it Barlow?
Barlow. Yeah, he just got like,
A judo promotion.
yeah, today, actually.
Yeah.
But they do.
Where is it at?
It's right next to the Domino's on Cervantes as you're starting to turn towards Apple Market. And in the same little building, it's also Wild Hair Wellness, which is like not yoga, but she doesn't like when you say yoga.
Yeah. A wellness.
Yeah, body
Studio.
wellness.
Yeah.
But if you're aware of what yoga looks like, it looks a lot like that. So, but they're great people. Also, if you're in Pensacola, Florida, and you're trying to get inked up, do you not have tattoos at all?
No, it's really weird because I want my whole body done.
Bro, you're taking too long, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, you've lived a whole life.
I just
When you
can't.
gonna-
I can't figure out
What's
what I
up?
want. It always changes, but I feel like I'm a tattooed person. I just don't have any.
Hey, bud, it looks otherwise.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm literally
hey,
would
this
tattoo
is what
my
you
whole
call a
entire
tattooed
body.
person.
Like I would tattoo my entire body.
You should do that.
Probably
know
will
what.
eventually. I think
What would
it'll
your
be
knuckles
like
say?
in a 3-year process.
Yeah.
Um,
What would your knuckles say? Fuck this.
make more.
Wow.
Damn.
Damn, you're like the new Andrew Tate. You just drop some
Oh,
bangers on it. It's just like
yeah.
fucking bam.
Yeah.
You just got
Make
it,
more.
dude.
Damn,
Gotta
that should be
figure
the
it out.
title.
So where does he need to go, though?
Yeah, you should go to Sacred Grounds Tattoo Studio. Johnny Mumbles is the guy. He's got lettering. He's got fucking original ideas. His artwork is phenomenal. He commissions pieces. So if you don't want to just get tattooed work, if you want to get like tapestry or you want a sign made for your studio, whatever it could be, he does any of that. They also, and I just started doing this last podcast, and I'm going to continue to do it because why not? It's another like avenue for money. They'll design T-shirts for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there. They never said that,
Yeah.
but you go to them, I'm sure they'll do it.
Mhm.
You know, they do. Their studio does like events as far as like Friday the 13th flash. So like it'll be like $50 for flash or $100 for a piece of flash, but they'll give you like several sheets of it and you pick your design. They also sometimes do this thing where they do like a quarter in a little, what are those little toy things with it's like a clear bottom and a color top, and then inside is like a tattoo design. And you put like a quarter in the machine and it drops it out. What is that machine called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a gumball machine, but for like tattoos.
Yeah.
So it's like you pick your
I
own
get what
design.
you're-
You drop $100, they give you a quarter, so you kind of get your money back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what
You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
you get to keep the plastic piece and a tattoo. So you really made out with the deal.
Yeah.
You know, you get something forever. You only spend $100.
Right.
Also, Chauncey Fury. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Hilarious guy. I mean, he raps now. Have you seen his raps?
No, I haven't.
Bro, get on his Instagram.
Dude.
Give it a like.
Mixtape's coming soon.
Yeah, dude, he's bananas
I used
with
to
the
always
raps.
see him in the barbershop. He used to go to White's.
Oh yeah, he's
with
fucking
Justin for years.
the whole
Or
crew
he might
there.
still go
is-
there. I'm not sure.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, his wife does hair now, so I mean, I think she's done it for a while, but like she does it in their house now. It's like as a studio, so I don't know if he still goes there. But if he does, dude, fucking say something to Dean next time you're in there. You know, fucking get a tattoo idea. I mean, he wants his body covered. He's waiting. He's oozing.
been waiting.
He's waiting for like ink to cover up. You know.
Yeah.
My whole entire body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they're not in Pensacola,
I'm
Florida,
not kidding. Like one day it'll literally be, like in a few months' time, I'd probably completely be untattooed.
dude, come
Yeah,
back.
nobody
Hey,
sees you.
come back and we'll take a picture together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody sees
Like,
you
I got
after a couple months.
All of it. You know what I'm
Whole
saying?
body done.
Yeah. So you
covered.
got to get some, and we'll take like shirtless pictures and shit.
Down with that for sure.
Yeah. You're like totally
It's
not doing
that's
that
crazy.
We've been in the gym pretty good. Maybe in a few months.
at all. Yeah.
Let me get my ready with no tattoos, shirtless body pics first.
Yeah. Your before and after.
Hey,
soon as I'm
tattoos
straight
help,
with that.
help
Yeah.
disguise what you don't got. You know, they can contour tattoos to make your body
Just
look.
get
Yeah.
abs tattooed
Yeah,
on you.
yeah.
Be sick. But yeah, if you guys aren't in Pensacola, you guys can check out Panacea Martial Arts. That is run by Tony Rayborn out there. They moved into their new gym about a year ago, a gigantic gym. They do all kinds of family-friendly classes, so if you're trying to get your kids or somebody into martial arts and don't know where to start, that is a great place to start. They have so many kids classes out there and so many, 5-year-old like killers out there. It's crazy. So Panacea Martial Arts, definitely go check them out.
Where's it at? Like
It's
address.
It's in Foley, Alabama. It's I think it's like 101 McKenzie Street. Let me get the
That
exact.
sounds right. But yeah, they're over in Foley. It's a tight ass spot. Super cool. And they're
It's
they're
806 South McKenzie Street, Foley, Alabama.
Yeah, Tony's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
They're great people. Over
They they used to be in the Rufus Sport building, then they left. It used to
Yep.
be like Rufus Sport kickboxing. They left
Half acre.
to a little like I don't know what it
It's
used
almost
to
like
be.
a- yeah,
It
like a
used to be like an
strip mall area type
insurance
thing.
building,
Yeah.
and then they went back to that Rufus Sport, and now it's all Panacea. So
Yeah.
it's like all gray and
Huge,
black
dude.
and everything.
It's huge.
But they're in that
Nice.
same spot that you know.
yeah.
Awesome.
So.
And then Wednesday nights we've got Rich Shimleski doing the intermediate,
dude.
the jiu-jitsu classes on Wednesday nights. And
Yes.
if you're looking for awesome, dope-ass no-gi gear,
Right here,
he has his own brand called The Lifestyle Experiment. Definitely
It's the
check their
bag.
shit out. Their website is alefl.com, and Instagrams are at A Lifestyle Experiment.
Clean, bro.
Always coming out with new shit. They're
Yes,
sponsoring
sir.
a bunch of fighters around the Pensacola area, so I'm sure you've seen some of their gear or some of their kits rocked around
a lot
town.
of the Remedy fighters have it. Like,
Yeah. So, but definitely check their stuff out. They're constantly stocking stuff, but sign up for their email list and you'll get updates on when new shit's coming out and all that kind of good stuff. So,
Oh,
yeah, definitely check that shit out. And yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah, bro. Again, can't thank you guys for coming
bro.
in. You know, been watching y'all for a while. Getting to personally know some of you guys, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Appreciate that.
Just like y'all want us to never stop, because, you know, we won't. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah.
All right. All right.
We don't want y'all to stop, dog.
No, we're not. We're not. It's
Yeah.
about to take on a whole another thing. Like we're about to like really blow it up. So
Oh yeah, dude.
everything we're involved in is gonna blow up. But you know, we also have an agency. I don't think we brought that up.
Oh shit.
Part 2 of this episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll,
Yeah, we
hey,
can do it.
episode,
we
whenever
can
you
do it.
want.
You know, if
dog.
you have an
We can do it.
OnlyFans
Oh.
and you're a female and you're not happy with the money you're making, come holler at us at Hush Entertainment.
Damn. All right. Hell yeah. Well, dude, we can't thank you enough for coming and hanging out. We really do appreciate it. So thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Gotcha.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We're getting the fuck up out of here. We love you. Yee 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 yee.